Hello everybody and welcome back to another Chill Sunday stream. Hope everybody's doing well. I see we got Doug here already. Sunday streams in this economy, it's more likely than you think. Also I'm not feeling well, so I'll catch you all later. That's okay, Doug. Thanks for stopping by and hope you feel better. Jaguar also wishes you well. Shark says, woo, Beacon Pines. I'm excited for this one. I'm excited too. It was donated by someone who wishes to remain anonymous, but I am grateful for them doing so, and thus we will be playing Beacon Pines after we finish up some stuff with Cat Cafe and do our Staxel stuff. So that's the plan for today. Duke says, well, hello there, fellows. Jaguar says, hello everyone with the kitty in the box. Always glad to see that. Jaguar, Duke, and Shark, hope you're all having chill and lovely Sundays. We'll get started in about a minute. I'm gonna show off the cafe, and then there's a bunch of conversations. It was donated by the hacker group Anonymous. Yeah, no, unfortunately. Unfortunately a different Anonymous. Hello, J-Lex. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Glad you could join us. But yeah, with that said, let's get started. So first and foremost, I'm going to show off what's going on in the cafe here. And, we'll follow that up by showing off some of the conversations, some of which are very, very cute. I pre-recorded it, so I'll be commenting over that pre-recording. Hello and welcome, Il. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. So first of all, day 117, and the cafe is as complete as I could possibly make it. So I'll just run through, like, guess one day to show it off, but there's not much to do. Jaguar says, I had a stressful week with extremely stressful Friday, so I'm glad to be here with you all today. I am so sorry you had a stressful week. But yeah. So we've got our little kitty room in the back here with all the litter boxes, all the beds, all the scratching posts, all the food. Kitchen's over here. This is the little collection room of the items that we picked up over the course of the game. Bathrooms are over here. And a little plant garden with a little zombie hen sticking out. So I thought that was a nice touch. And all the different rugs and tables. Hello and welcome, Zero. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday as well. Why not put the litter boxes in the bathroom? I just wanted to make like a cat area where it was just the cat stuff. I thought that made sense. But yeah, the thing is pretty much automated at this point. I have tons of resources. And we have all the kitties. 23 out of 23 cats. Full staff. Game is complete. That's pretty much it. Like, it was just grinding to get to this point, and then designing the shop. And there is enough here for 69 out of 65 for the cat food, 64 out of 62 for the scratch bowl, 68 out of 66 for the litter, 49 out of 47 for the toys, and 42 out of 41 for the cat bed. So, it is done. And the one thing I think is worth mentioning is that this little one, Rocket right here, this one made all the grinding so much easier because of... Is it not Rocket? I thought it was Rocket. Maybe it was someone else. Thrifting. Cuts the furniture cost by 25%. The raccoon ends up saving you money. Yeah. This is the end game, as it were. then we'll head over to the conversations that I pre-recorded in a bit, and we'll share those, get the rest of the story of the game. Duke says, did you know our flag means Death Season 2 has started? Wait, what? What are you talking about? And so that's pretty much it. Game pretty much runs itself at that point. But let's hop over to here, where we will see all of the interesting events that happened during my recording of the rest of the game. Let's do VLC. Bam. There we go. Alright, first things first. We adopted this kitty, Cormac. Buddies and pals, come hang by my fire. Comfy, but Arl, sweetie, why was your invite letter made with cut-up newspaper clippings? And why'd you sign the letter with the Great Weaving Society? Sorry to say, I left Gavin's crochet kit at home. It's the Late Evening Society, Gramps. That's the name of my cool exclusive ghosty stories club. Ghost stories? Like the ones with creepy crawlies, dastardly devils, and gibbering ghoulies? And tiresome telemarketers? Talking to a stranger over the phone sure does shiver me timbers. Look, blame Tara for putting up that campfire. You gotta tell spooky stories around a campfire. So here goes. Submitted for the approval of the Late Evening Society, I call the story Scary Wood Time. Once upon a time, right here in Caterwall, there was this gal. Their name was, Jimbus. Yeah, Jimbus. So Jimbus and this friend of theirs, Yusuf, loved to go on hikes in the woods. This one time on a cold winter day, they went on a hike to Pop Top Mountain. That does not sound so scary. It sounds more like a level from the Speedy the Fast Hog games Mateo likes to play. Hush, Jimbus and Yusuf are experienced hikers, but old Pop Top is the cream of the crop mountain-wise, so they're really excited about topping Pop Top. As they start their climb, Yusuf turns to Jimbus. Are you sure this is a good idea? Didn't those hikers go missing here just last winter? Don't worry about it. This is my last climb before I retire as a hiker, says Jimbus. I actually thought I put this as better timing. Didn't those hikers go missing here just last winter? Don't worry about it. This is my last climb before I retire as a hiker, says Jimbus. Once I climb this, I'm handing in my boots and my fleece pants. How lovely. I sure hope nothing untoward happens to them so they can relax and enjoy their retirement. Something tells me you haven't heard a lot of ghost stories, little Carla. After a couple hours of hot hiking, the wind gets, way worse. They could barely see through the snow, right? Jimbus can just make out this log cabin in the distance. As they get close to the cabin, they think they can hear a sound out in the woods. This, rhythmic ticking sound. Tick-tock. Tock-tick. Thanks for the sound effect. The storm's getting bad. They see no choice but to check out this cabin. That night, they fell into an uneasy sleep, huddled together for warmth. That is, until something wakes Jimbus. A rhythmic ticking sound, tapping against their window. Tock, 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 tock. Slowly, Jimbus rises out of the window, black from the lack of light outside. With trembling fingers, they turn on the flashlight on their phone and point it at the window. Eee! In the window, they see 4 or 5 raccoons. Aw, the sweet babies must be cold. Jimbus opens up the door for them so they can warm their weird little hands by the fire. And who is that they brought with them? It is the hiker that got lost last year. It sure is nice that these cute trash rats kept me fed and alive for a whole year, they say. This was my spooky story. Jimbus and Yusuf adopted the whole lot of raccoons and became a big happy family. Oh, and then they bought a blimp and traveled the world. Was the blimp haunted or what? What are we doing here? You leave the trio arguing about how exactly friendly the ghost haunting blimp is. Then we adopted this little kitty, who the game name's Lazy, but I decided to name Silly, because I don't think anybody's lazy. Let me catch up with chat quick, and then we'll continue through. There's a pirate queen in this one. They made Steed Bonnet Ned teaches a couple. The pirate queen is so cool. The fact that they haven't included her as a neat character, even if she's a minor character. I think they're making her a major character. Jaguar says, I love that we're ending this in October and they're sharing ghost stories. Yeah, that's kind of awesome. There's a lot of different ghost stories and a few other almost D&D style things that are coming up, so be excited for that. Zero says, raccoons are very trustworthy and will help you survive in the wild. Duke says, trash rats, trash pandas. Indeed. Zero says, capitalists are lazy. Laziness is bourgeois propaganda. And it is very appropriate for the spooky season. Duke says, I read an article the other day about how Toronto has declared war on raccoons twice and lost both times, and that residents have now just come to embrace them even when they dig up the garden or roof. Mateo has gathered everybody around the study corner. Everyone but Mateo looks nervous and jittery. Oh, Tara, just go-getting entrepreneur I was looking for. You see, I was going to give a little course on business practices at your fine study table. But that's when I got a way better idea. Bark Tank, in which I make my friends bark business ideas at me and I pretend to decide to invest in them. And whom's better to have at my side than you, Tara? You can be my bark buddy. Then I will never forgive you for putting this idea into his empty head. How do I feel about being called an entrepreneur just now? Not good. That was an insult. I apologize, there was a pun right there. I just had to go for it. I wasn't a good pun even. Puns just have this power over me. Two teams will bark their investment opportunities at us today, Tara. Which pitch shall we hear first? Finley and Carlalala with Pestcast, or Bonner and Arwell with Bed Ride? So let's listen to Pestcast. Okay, Carlalala, you got this. You throw up the ball and I'll dunk it, alright? Ooh, baseball metaphors. We are really entrepreneurs, are we not? Alright. Time for a real, barn burner. Have you ever wondered what is a podcast? Well, so have I, but luckily my friend Finley explained it to me. It turns out they are like when your friends have a nice conversation, and all you can do is listen instead of join in. It sounds lovely, but it's also very exciting. That's right, Carla, and that's why we tried to make a podcast, but it was terrible. Just the worst. Absolute baby tier. Alright, I'm intrigued. That is when we thought, what if this is our own unique, selling point? There are so many good podcasts out there, or so I've been told. What if someone needs a really bad one? Well, bam, that's the Pestcast. A podcast so bad, it'll chase your pests away. Just play this at home, seal, and leave your house for about 3 days or so, and any pests that have invaded your space will have left out of misery. Pests deserve the worst, and there's nothing quite as bad as somebody's first podcast. That's the Pestcast promise. Unless they are nice pests, like mice, or ladybugs, or ants, or mosquitoes, or molds. Alright, you had my attention, now you have my confusion. What's your business model looking like? We're still looking at working out the finer details, but Mateo, we're thinking of collecting fish and gems through some kind of mail system. Makes sense. Thank you for the pitch. Ready to hear the next one? Yeah, let's hear about Bed Ride. Have you ever walked around town, your hands full of shopping bags, your back aching, and all you wanted to do was get a good night's rest? Yeah, or have you ever been in a public place and heard someone express an opinion so bad it immediately made you want to go to sleep? That's when you call up Bed Ride, the bed on wheels. Yeah, we get like a white van, we bolt down a bed in the back, we drive up, you get in, you lie down, it's just that easy, right, Bonner? That's right, little ROL. And unlike other companies which use pesky mobile applications and websites, you can order your very own bed ride from any payphone. Dude, I think Terra has the world's last payphone in front of their cafe, so I don't know if that's the best idea. So, feeling tired? Walk to your closet payphone now. We drive your way so you can hit the hay. Wow, I can tell from Terra's blank stare that they're very intrigued. So what sort of investment are you looking for? We were wondering if we could borrow that white van of yours, Mateo, and your bed. Not shady at all. Perfectly normal. I've decided who to imaginarily invest in. Alright, time to bark up the right investment tree. I'm still workshopping that line, but I think it's got potential, right? Who are we giving the imaginary bucks? I gave it to Bed Ride. Yes, little Arwa, we did it. Does that mean one of us needs to get their driver's license? Good luck with that, Bonner. I have an actual peg leg. So how about you get your driver's license? No way, you gotta study for that thing. Oh, I'm supposed to still have some kinks to sort out, Terra. I never knew about running an imaginary investment show with no actual physical money involved could be this much work. You leave Mateo and his new partners to figure out the tax situation on imaginary money. Next, we have the adoption of Cleo. The gorgeous black kitty. How do you, none of them have licenses. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that'd be more ideal world, wouldn't it? Where you don't need them. You could just walk to the shop every day and not need one. Carla, Lala, and Gavin are at the photo book, bent over a collection of photos. Nan there took in her youth. All of the photos show some or one or more witches. Now, one thing I've noticed is that Gavin doesn't actually show up as a model in the game, and I don't know why. I know that technically speaking, Gavin doesn't actually show up at the shop, but it would have been nice for these, I think, to have a model show up. Tara, me and Lala here just found veritable goldmine of witch history among your grand's photos. Witches tend not to hold onto photographs, dear, courtesy of them being quite potent ingredient for curses and all that. Yeah. We were wondering if we could take these over to the library sometime to properly sort and file them. We could learn a lot about how Caterwall's witchy community used to live back then. Only if you tell me your findings. Oh, that's terrific. Thank you so much. We will definitely share our findings with you. But be aware it could take a long time. There are a lot of photos. Gavin picks up a photo showing a collection of wise-looking witches. So, Lala, in this photo here, these were the elders of the garden, correct? That is correct, Gavin. Any garden sorely needs its elders. A garden simply could not function without them, I think. What exactly is a garden? Oh dear, I never explained this to you. My apologies, Tara. Witches have been have a bit of a tough history, I'm afraid. In the past, they were often chased away or avoided, simply for being a bit different from non-witchy people. Very true. Persecuted. To avoid this fate, they found strength and solidarity and formed groups called covens. Nowadays, most witches live in a coven. Now, coven witches tend to move around a lot. In the old times, a coven would travel to a town and negotiate with the town's leaders on prices for witchy services, such as potion making. Ah, I read about this. If an agreement could not be made or eventually broke down, the coven would simply pack up their brooms and move, right? That's right, dear. Witches here in Caterwall, however, are what we call garden witches. Garden witches find a single place to settle and they stay there. We call such covens a garden instead. There are many kinds of witches, like hedge witches who travel without a coven, or balcony witches who ply the witchy trade in the city. It is said that the witches of Caterwall were a coven that traveled with the first settlers of the valley, and decided to form a garden here after they helped the village make a pact with the wild cats that lived here. Absolutely fascinating stuff. Any other questions, Tara? Wait, I didn't see which one I picked there. Why are some of these elders so young? Good question. Oh, we can call whoever's in charge of a coven an elder, dear. The elders of a coven or garden are picked by vote. I'm sure that in the old days, the oldest and wisest witches were often chosen to lead the coven, and that's why we call our leaders elders. But now it's much more normal for an elder of a young age to be selected. By the way, you might have also noticed from the photo there are witches of all genders in most covens. The stereotype that only female-presenting witches exist is a bit of a myth I have found. Oh really? Are there people that think that? That's rather silly, is it not? Do you know how the witching business first started? Now this is an interesting one. There are many theories out there. My hope is that your Grand's collection maybe holds some documents to prove or disprove them. I am actually not familiar with the stories of our founding, Gavin. Could you share one, please? Of course. It is said long ago, before the witching business existed, that there was a small town hidden deep in the countryside. In the town lived a single doctor that the whole town relied on, until one day she herself got sick and had nobody to turn to. The town was much too secluded to have another doctor come and treat her. She told the town to not visit her cabin. She was afraid to infect them too. I'm also glad witches and cats have a good rep here, Jaguar. One rainy day, the sick doctor looked out her window and noticed a hungry black cat lying by her doorstep. She was too tired to cry for help, but it looked like it needed it. The doctor, although she was very sick herself, took the cat in and fed it and cared for it. Now the next part is a bit fantastical. One day, the black cat spoke to her. It thanked her for taking care of it, and in return taught her the art of potion making, using wild herbs from the woods. It was the Grimalkin. We're getting a lot of backstory of what the Grimalkin was and how it's tied to the town and the witches here. One of the potions it taught her was the cure to her disease, which she thought incurable. She proceeded to teach the trade to whoever was willing to learn. And that's how the first coven was founded. What a beautiful story. I do love stories with a happy ending. Did she and the cat live happily ever after? There are some other records of her travels, but none mention a black cat. It's all a bit of a fairy tale anyway. I imagine the doctor simply learned potion making through her own hard work and experimentation. Couldn't have been the Grimalkin at all. I hope the magic black kitty lived a long and happy life. Either way, is there anything else you'd like to know, Tara? I have to go. Of course, Tara. Thank you so much for allowing us to take a look at these photos. Bye now, dear. Then we adopted Peanut. And another campfire story. The late evening society has reconvened around the campfire. Good evening, my children of the night. My sweet music you make. Arwell, did you sneak into my mom's potion shop to drink random potions again? Is your mouth alright? Yeah, I'm being a Dracula, obviously. Thanks for setting a spooky atmosphere, little Arwell. Or at least attempting to, anyway. It's time for me ghost story. Strap in, laddies and laddiesums. This tale has been told by sailors across the world for many years now. Submitted for the approval of the Late Evening Society, I call here the story In the Mouth of Badness. This tale is about a young sailor by the name of, Gavin. Gavin served on many a vessel, and their latest stint was aboard a science vessel traveling all the way to the dark, cold West Pole. Gavin didn't much understand these sciencey types, but while I'm in and his shipmates played cards, the scientists whisper in hushed tones and pore over these old, dusty tomes. One night, Gavin felt brave enough to ask them to let him in and look at these books. They scrambled to hide the books from his sight before they could. However, he did see one thing. Is it maths? Please, Lord, tell me it's not maths. Nah. But he did see an ancient-looking map of an island with an impossible shape and bright red X marking some sort of spot on a mountain at the center of it. Oh, phew. Maps are cool, I guess. How can an island have an impossible shape anyway? The island was a perfect square. A week of traveling went by. When the ship approached land, suspiciously square-looking land. As they sailed ever closer, the winds got fiercer, the air hotter. It was like they were sailing into the netherworld itself. The square lands looked like nothing Gavin had ever seen before. The ground was made of stark white sand. Large white spires of impossible shapes loomed large. Goodness, Bonner, is really good at this, right, Arwell? I don't know. He's okay. As the crew made their way onto land, the scientists followed the instructions from their books and notes. As night fell, the sky took on a I missed that, but fine. After some time of traversing the blasted landscape, Gavin found out just what it was the lab rats were looking for. A massive slab of red crystal embedded deep down in a chasm. As they got closer, the scientist urged Gavin to take a closer look, because only their strong arms could carry them down the chasm. While Gavin was climbing, they spotted something in the crystal. Some sort of slithering movement. The mouth of badness like bad breath. I used to get spooked by those stories. Which one? Oh, the Midnight Society. From Afraid of the Dark, yeah. As they reached the bottom and their boots touched the crystal, they finally got a good look at it. What do you see? The science boys yelled from above. Gavin crawled down on all fours to take a close look, and deep in the crystal they saw an underwater kingdom. Oh yes, the underwater people opened up a little crystal door and invited Gavin down to their nice pretty kingdom. Yeah, and I bet the underwater king gave them some fresh baked scallop pie while he was at it. The plot escaped me, but what the heck. Of course, after all, Gavin was the long-lost prince. They had every one of their desires met for the rest of their days. And they invited all the scientists down there too. And they learned to love and respect each other even if their professions are a little bit different. Yeah, sure. Happily ever after. Hera, I'm starting to feel like you aren't taking my Ghost Story Club that seriously. Lighten up, Arwell. A good story is like a nice fluffy pillow. It'll change its shape to support whoever's sitting against it. Best we get comfortable, eh? The late evening society rounds up its second meeting. Brave friends, I have gathered you all here today for the adventure of a lifetime. Mateo, sweetie, for the last time, I will not invest in crowdsourced hide-and-seek spots. Nay, fair Finley, you merry band shall form an adventuring party to travel the land in search of fame and fortune. Mateo points at a stack of rulebooks, paper and dice, which he's carefully played out. Oh, is this one of those rope-playing games I've heard so much about? No, Carla Lala, that's a different type of, playing. How very exciting. Ooh, can I be tied up first? No rope can contain me. Wow, lot to unpack there. Ain't gonna linger on that one. It's a role-playing game, Carla. Or RPG for short. Right, I read about these. We make up characters and play pretend, right? And do a bunch of arduous paperwork, character sheet, more like character yeet. It'd still say yeet, right? Yes, Finley. You all take on the roles of adventurous heroes, while I, the games master, shall put forth the devious challenges you all must overcome. The game we'll play is called Kittens in Caverns. You play warrior cats traveling a fantastic medieval world. No, yeet is definitely still used. It at least as relevant as 6 months ago. I don't know if it's like I know they changes it every 6 months, so it probably isn't, but it was like 6 months ago. You haven't heard it be used anymore recently? That's not surprising. These cats stand upright and wield swords and such. Not sure why. Tara, what sort of character would you like to play? I want to be a raccoon. It's a game about cats, Tara. Why would there be a raccoon? As if there's not a raccoon already in the game. Maybe the game's artist got tired of drawing cats all the time. No self-respecting game developer makes a game about cats with put in a raccoon. That's nonsense. I love the self-jab. As there's literally a raccoon sitting right there. Like, right at the table next to us. Of course you're a cat, but what class would you like to be? I can pick any class I want? That's right. Upper middle class, then. No, Finley. Like fighter, rogue, wizard, that sort of thing. You could be anything you can dream of. Oh, like that? I'll be a musician. Ooh, could I be a pet shop owner? They're just picking their own jobs. Mateo sighs deeply, wearily. This sigh should be recognizable to any games master. Is that true, GMs out there? Alright, instead I shall be some strange fantastical thing. How about a witch? Here's your sheet. Tara, what class would you like to play? I picked Necromancer. The other choices are Cleric or Barbarian. Eek, the terrifying Necromancer. When a cat's 9 lives run out, this foul magician can give them a 10th, as a mindless servant of evil. I'll be a Necromancer. Boo. And what shall your name be? Shall be your name, oh foul Necromancer? Stubbly McGubbins. Stubbly McGubbins? Verily a most intriguing name. I'll be Finkelstein the Bard. My meowling song shall win the hearts of many a lovely lass. How lovely. And I shall be Cronwell, the evil witch. Nya nya, ha ha! Was my laugh evil enough? I've been practicing evil laughs. Jaguar asks, wait, was that a question about GM's Tara? Sorry, too much chatting and game dialogue at the same time for my brain. Yeah, they had basically said Mateo gave a sigh that all game masters are aware of. Basically, the party's not being responsive. Is that true? Generational slang was nice because it felt kind of like unifying thing. Now slam is just about TikTok trends and whatever weird internet thing happens. I don't know, Shark. I'll report back in a month. I'll listen in some convos and let you know. You can pick that class too. Alright, we're almost done here. Arwell, tell me what you want to be, bud. Oh, I'll be a small business owner. That's an actual class. Alright, what's your name? Mateo. Mateo buries his head behind his Game Master screen while it has many useful tables. Hiding it in frustration is the true purpose of any Game Master screen. Cool, so we'll all go home and finish rolling up our character sheets while pretending to actually care. Thank you, Mateo. I'm very excited for your funny little roleplay. Here's my character's backstory I wrote so far. This is just the first 6 pages, so I'll mail you the rest. Please read it before the first game session, okay? I feel like this is such an embodiment of the different levels of roleplay gamers, where you've got the one that's got like the 10-page backstory for their character, you've got the one who's just like not following at all, and then someone who's basing it off of something real or not connecting it. Jalix says this is soul crushing to listening to. How is it soul crushing? It's so funny and accurate. You all leave an exhausting looking Mateo at the game table. The life of the game master is a tough one, you realize. You find Bonner and Gavin poring over Nan's old photo book, chatting excitedly as they turn the dusty pages. Oh, hello there, Tara. Look, it's a picture of Gavin as a wee baby. You can see his whole bonbon. We talked about using our inside voice, didn't we? What did we say about the inside voice? You said that only good boys who use their inside voice get the nice mimosa drink. Never mind that, show me the photo. What are you two looking at? I picked that one? We were just looking at old photos of Nan, and us reminiscing. Leave it up to us old men to get stuck on things of talking about old times. Gavin shows you a photo of younger versions of himself. Bonner and Nan, Gavin looks so much too embarrassed to have his picture taken, but Bonner is... well, I did that way too. But Bonner's holding him in place while Nan pinches his cheeks. They look happy. Ah, can't believe Nan kept this one. I was sure you'd have any photo with you looking cute found and destroyed, Gavin. I would never. Any archivist worth their salt would take grave offense at that bonbon. Besides, I don't think there are all that many photos of us before we started dating. How did you three become friends? Sorry if this is a bit of a boring tale, Tara. I don't show up for this one until about the halfway point. I've known Nan as long as I can remember. When I was a child, Bonbon. Don't touch that baby photo. She used to nanny me when my mother was at work. Jalix says, I mean, I feel like there's not a lot of reason for actual playing if you aren't going to engage in the game. That'll get addressed, Jalix, actually, in some of the later conversations. And they are engaging in the game. They're just not engaging in the game in the way that Mateo wants. But the point of the game is to have fun. She was only a few years older than me. I've always sort of thought of her as a kind older sister. Even as we grew into rowdy teens, she'd always make sure I was alright. You a rowdy teen? You wouldn't hurt a fly's pet flea. Sorry, I can't fathom you as a rowdy teen, sweet little husband. We were always exploring the woods around town. Back then, our elders ordered us not to go into the woods. It seems silly now, but it was for the fear of the cats. We were told not to get close to them. I was rowdy, but I knew to listen to my elders. Nan wasn't like anyone else in the village. The more she was told to stay away from the cats, the more she wanted to find them and spend time with them. She sometimes dragged me along on her little excursions. The cats would always run away from us, but over many years she slowly seemed to win their trust. Eventually they started coming out of the woodwork for her. One day she stormed into the library, telling me she'd made this discovery. She led me to a clearing in the woods with these cat-shaped statues. This was apparently where the cats had made their home. She told me she'd met someone there, and that she had this new insight into our town, and what she needed to do. The Grimalkin. She found the Grimalkin. She felt she had to build a space for cats and people to be together in peace. The cafe, of course. Together we combed through the library and spent a lot of time investigating the old shrine. I found out some of the history, which is actually rather interesting. And that's when I enter the old story. Ta-da! Told you it'd be a bit boring until then. I ran into you two on one of your weird little excursions, didn't I? Before I even knew what was going on, Nan was putting me to work herding stray cats. You two weren't like anyone I'd met before. You weren't so much interested in the grass being greener on the other side, but rather making this side's grass greener. If you weren't such a fine ferryman, I think you would have made a wordsmith, Bonbon. I ended up giving up my commission on the ship I served on to come live here in Caterwall. I'd say it was healthy for valley living life, but I can't lie about the massive crush I developed on little Gavin here. Yeah, shared storytelling can be complicated for sure. But I think the point is the fun more than the rules a lot of the times. If everybody's having fun, I think it's more important. I helped your gran build her cat cafe right in this very spot. Even worked in her kitchen for a little bit in exchange for a place to rest me head. That is until she practically forced me to confess my feelings for Gavin, and I moved in with this cute little thing shortly after that. Didn't Nan ever tell you who she met at the shrine? Come to think of it, she never did. I asked her about it once or twice, but she never told me. Whoever it was, they left this big black cat in her care. From then on, wherever she went, it wasn't far behind. If you ever adopt it in your cafe, I'd love to come see it. What was Gran like back then? Your Gran was a real special person, Tara. She was this mousy little thing with piercing eyes. So whenever she spoke, it was calm, quiet voice. You had to lean close to her. Here. Okay, I made it. Piercing, clever eyes. Whenever she spoke, it was quite calm voice. You had to lean close to hear her clearly, but she always spoke firmly, like she had her mind made up long before that conversation. But more than anything, she did whatever she could to make you feel heard and appreciated. It was her special talent. I think she didn't even do it on purpose. That's just who she was. I never met your Grams. Me and Gavin were out of town during that chapter of your Gran's life, but I'm sure they were very happy for a time. It was real sad to see her go. We all were, but more than anything, I wish you could have met her again, even if for a little bit. You can keep the photo if you'd like. Really, Tara? Oh, please accept my deepest gratitude. I'll keep it safe in the library, of course. This is a most important historical document, after all. Something tells me it might end up framed by our bedside instead. I accidentally repeated some dialogue here, so skip that. And we end the conversation. Then we readopted Duster. Brought Duster back home. Arwell is peering over a set of faded photos from Nan's photo book as you and Mateo approach. Watch what you look in there, friendo. Please don't mind there's photos of me with bracers because... Please don't tell me there's photos of me with bracers because that could count as blackmail material. No offense at all, the way you're saying haha reminds me of Tommy was... I think I'm doing that kind of on purpose because this is such silly conversations. Actually, that's exactly what I'm looking at. Check this out. Arwell presents a picture of a very young-looking Arwell and Mateo hugging clumsily with big smiles on their faces. Young Arwell's expression is part of joy and part of pain, as little Mateo's bracers poke him in the chin. Sounds like you are the expert, huh? I suppose. I vaguely remember Nan taking some photos of us when we'd visit her and her cats. There's like a whole book's worth, actually. I guess we visited her cat cafe a lot. You sure two do look friendly in that photo. We do, huh? Some people refer to us by the charming title, the Twin Tricksters. We were always up to some sort of shenaniganry. Huh. Wasn't it the dual dunces? We were less about I can't even say that. And more brain injury. That isn't a word, is it? You're looking at me like it isn't. Why were you two at Gran so often? Your granny was chill. She accepted us for who we were. Most folks weren't around a heck of a lot. And Mateo's dad was, well, Mateo's dad. Wowie, Arwell, you have a way with words, you poet you. But you're not wrong. Point is, we sometimes didn't feel like we had other places to be. We do, huh? How'd you two meet, anyway? Arwell lunges forward, putting his hands over your mouth before you could finish asking the question. Tara, I swear on my amazing hair. You better stop right there. Mateo, I think I heard your phone buzz, dude. Better run out of here. Nuh-uh, Siri's asleep, and it sounds like Tara's asking how we'd met. It's one for the history book, that story. This was back in what, elementary school? We were in the same class, being taught by good old Gavin, I believe. We were both shy kids, to put it mildly. I was the quiet type, while Arwell was, let's just say he got a real creative insulting anyone that would call him shy. Honestly, the way you just let anyone walk all over you kinda ticked me off. Anyway, every year our school would have this costume party, right? That year, the theme for the party was personal heroes. Needless to say, I dressed up like my old man. Most kids came dressed up like their parents or firemen or whatever. This one kid even dressed up like Bonner. But Arwell here had a real special costume. Arwell looks about ready to sink into the floor. It's the middle of the party, all these kids mingling about, when Arwell enters the room in his absolutely stunning pretty girl gun cat costume. He got every single detail right. The gun arm, the visor, he even got the twin ponytails. That's right. If I do something, I give it my all, alright? Except this group of bullies couldn't handle that. Started haranguing me about how I was wearing a girl's costume, and then I couldn't just cause I'm a boy or whatever. Normally I'd give these bozos a real piece of my mind, but I couldn't get my mouth to open, and I couldn't run away neither. It was like my feet had grown cinder blocks. This whole thing was starting to draw quite a crowd. I don't think I'd ever had that many people just looking at me. It felt awful, honestly. Then suddenly this little nerdling wearing a suit twice his size hurls himself out of the crowd and starts going off on these bullies. Yelling things like, "Look at the craftsmanship and resplendent detail work," and using all kinds of words no 7-year-old should know. And that was me. You were the only person in that room bold enough to show who you really were, and what you really wanted to be. I thought you looked really cool. Thanks, I guess. After that, we just started hanging out with one another. We were inseparable for a little while there. Why'd you stop being friends? Mateo and Orwell both grow silent. You notice they're both looking at the old photo. Go on, tell him. Alright, I went to business school, started my own company, we kept getting into these little verbal disagreements. Arguments, Mateo. We got into arguments. You stopped knowing how to have fun. You told me you no longer had time for my, quote, childish time wasting. I suppose I did say that. Mateo looks like he's working up to say something. His mouth keeps opening and closing it as if he's about to start a sentence. Look, it's alright, I get it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying that. And I'm sorry for just leaving our friendship at that. Thanks, it's cool. We're cool for now. Suddenly, Mateo hugs Arwell tightly. It looks sort of clumsy and awkward. Mateo's glasses painfully poke into Arwell's chin, but it looks like the most natural thing in the world for them. I think that's a really cute one. Oh, Tara pal, check this puppy out. Arwell shows you a large cardboard box he's placed on the study table. It has a picture of a plastic model on the front. Big, bright letters in the box read, Pretty Girl Gun Cat, entry grade, 1 out of 144. Hey, I'm a big fan of Pretty Girl Gun Cat. Wait, for real? There was a second Gunhead in Caterwall and I never knew about it? I just got a bootleg VHS of the school trip art. Gotta see. But first I gotta show Finley how to put together this plastic model I got here. Since you're a fellow gunhead, I'll let you join in. Hiya, were you all talking about me? Ooh, Arwell, what's in the weird box? It's not a weird at all It's not this not at all weird box holds the answers to all your troubles, Finn. Check it out. It's a Pretty Girl Gun Cat. Pretty Girl Gun Cat. Why does this feel like 90% of the conversations I have with Mateo all of a sudden? This is a far cooler than any of the anything Mateo's into, trust me. Besides, it'll help you with that thing we were talking about. What do you need help with, Finley? I've been having trouble staying focused on my music work lately. I figured a nice relaxing hobby might just do the trick. And Arwell said he has just the thing. Alright, if you're excited about this Pretty Girl Gun Cat, I can't help but be super hyped. So who is this pretty looking feline gunslinger? Arwell, his big finger trembles with excitement, plays an episode of Pretty Girl Gun Cat on his phone while he explains. Alright, so this girl, Felinity, lives on a space station, Deep Space Shine, with her talking feline partner in Shine, Sola. She's just completely normal space schoolgirl, right? I lost it. I literally lost it. You can't see my cursor. I guess it didn't record that. But I like underlined Deep Space Shine repeatedly in the moment when I was recording this. For what I think should be obvious reasons. Meeting a talking cat does seem pretty normal, though. Why do you say that with, like, zero sarcasm? So, completely normal, right? But that's until the dark space anomaly Mistress Illustrious preys on AI's friends' emotional weaknesses and turns them into dark warriors. And that's when AI has to transform into Pretty Girl Guncat. Orwell begins to wildly gesticulate. He swings his arms from side to side. The hip thrusts are a very interesting touch. Saving space one heart at a time. With pretty smile and a fierce gun, Pretty Girl Guncat, in the name of the sun, I'll punish you. Nya. Clap ferociously. That was amazing, Pretty Girl Guncat. Seems like one tough cookie. You can stop doing the pose now. Orwell, arms still outstretched, realizes... what he looks like. He looks majestic, by the way. So yeah, that's Pretty Girl Guncat. Finley, you were telling me you had trouble focusing on your work, and that you might like a relaxing hobby to help you chill out a bit, right? That's when I thought maybe building these plastic models might do the trick. It's real easy, no glue required. And when you're done, you've got a full gun cap. Is it really relaxing to put the model together? This manual looks pretty intense. For sure, plastic model building's a bit like cooking. At first, you just follow the recipe, right? Just take your time and follow the steps and such. But eventually, when you get a bit more used to it, you can start adding your own little touches. I like to add battle damage to the armor, for example. You know, that does sound pretty relaxing. You know, Orwell, you're kind of like Pretty Girl Guncat yourself, you know? You're usually kind of in the background, not making a lot of noise, and you tend to put on this tough front to scare people off. But when someone needs your help, you transform into this whole other version of yourself, and you do your very best to help them. I think you're kind of amazing, Orwell. That's ridiculous. Tara, second opinion? I completely agree, Finley. You are like no help, Tara, but thanks, I guess I appreciate it. Shark says Star Trek in my cat cafe, it's more likely than you think. Deep Space Nine, heart. Top quality game. Yeah, the funny thing was the fact that they somehow merged Mega Man with, Deep Space Nine and, Sailor Moon. Like, all in one. Probably with a number of other references that were in there. And just amazing. Amazingly done. Finley's found another box underneath the Pretty Girl Guncat model. The box reads, Max Gunwolf, Space Scourge, and shows a rad space wolf. Oh yeah, that's Max Gunwolf. He and Guncat have this sometimes rival, sometimes pal kind of deal going on. It's a pretty common trope, and hey, where are you going? Pretty Girl Guncat looks like Mega Man. She's in the cafe, like there's a model of her. She has like a green Mega Man armor. I'm gonna go home and put this together now to relax. Bye. Not sure what just happened there, but at least Finley looked pretty stoked. Then we readopted Java. Mateo has gathered you all to start your Kitties in Caverns RPG adventure. His tired expression peeks up from behind his Game Master screen, where he's still furiously writing notes. Hail, adventurers! Are we ready to start our grand adventure? Finkelstein the Bard is well prepared. Before I was an adventurer, I was actually the princess of a faraway kingdom. My father, Duke Finkelfreen, was the first advisor of the king. Ah, yes, Finley, Finkelstein. We can go over your backstory later, maybe? But I prepared handouts. Here's my family tree. Yo-ha-ha. Cronwell, the evil witch, is here. I will do evil things like, Or will help me out. Burn a guy's hair or something? I will burn a guy's hair. That seems rather rude. How about I burn my own hair? Is that evil? Hera, who were you playing again? I'm the necromancer. That's right. Stubby. Wait. I wanted to pick the raccoon there. I should have picked the raccoon again there. That's right. Stubby McGubbins, the necromancer. And I am Mateo. I love business and my phone. I do not love my phone. Siri, please turn yourself off. And, yeah. Alright, are we ready to start the adventure of our 9 lifetimes? Ready! Oh dear, I'm so nervous. Yes? Did you just apologize to your phone? Between the time when the oceans drank Catlantis and the rise of the sons of Harry Gus, there was an age undreamed of. And unto this came, well, you four. You brave adventurers have traveled to the evil mountain lair of the evil wizard Donner. His, evil mountain looks so evil. It's like black and dark and evil looking. Oh wow, it's like I'm really there. Why did we come here exactly? Did the evil wizard do something to us? You accepted a quest to slay the evil wizard Donner. Who gave us this quest? Ooh, was it my stepfather, the fairy king of Aurelius? No, it was some tavern guy. Oh. So you're here to slay Donner for this tavern guy, but the gate to lower levels of his dungeon is blocked for meddling outsiders. What do? I lay down on the ground and start crying. Boo, I am Mateo. I didn't eat my quarterly projections. Stubby McGubbins, please. How do you work your way past this door? I steal some trash. Stubby McGubbins, you're not a raccoon. Oh, come now, Mateo. Just a little bit of trash. Okay, fine. Your weird tiny hands rummage the trash can outside of Donner's evil. Why don't you roll... steal trash is an actual skill in this game? I guess roll that. 2d6 plus the size of the trash can in centimeters. You roll a 12. With a roll like that, I bet you got some good trash. Alright, you get some trash. You got trash! I do not think I've seen Tara quite this happy. So, you notice the really cool puzzle inscribed on the door. You could take a closer look. And moving on, any other ideas, Stubby McGubbins? I resurrect the door. Since it's a wooden door, and anything made of wood is technically dead, right? So of course you could resurrect it. I guess? Okay, so why don't you roll the resurrection spell? That's 2d6 plus your big brain score. You clutch the dice in your sweaty palms. Everybody looks at you expectantly. You roll the dice. Natural 20. The odds of getting that on a two six-sided dice are like so small. The humor here. I love the humor here. Getting a natural 20 on 2 six-sided dice. Alright, I guess the door stands up and moves out of the way. I'm so sorry for being in the way. I am a door. It's kind of my thing. Just so you know, I had a really cool puzzle in me that would have been really fun. The game master was like so proud of my puzzle, but I guess you can just go in now, so... I think that ends the session. Good work, team? But I did not get to do anything yet. Not one little fire. All of you gain, let's say 200 XP. Yeah, sure, that sounds about right. The adventurers leave the table. You leave with Mateo. Mateo looks a bit dazed. Are you alright, Mateo? Yeah, it's just not quite how I imagined it. But it's all good. Maybe it'll be better next time. You leave Mateo with his notes and dice for now. Mateo's definition is very rigid there. It's, you know, I feel like with that kind of collaborative storytelling in gaming, you have to expect the unexpected. Yeah, you have to have plans laid out as a game master, but you also have to be able to deviate from that on some level. And Mateo seems to have this very rigid way of how he expects the game to go, and that's kind of not fun. The Late Evening Society, Arwell's Ghost Story Club, has gathered around your campfire yet again. Hello, ghastly ghoulies. I hope you're ready for a spooky story. Hee hee. Ah, little Carla, is it your turn? I'm quivering with excitement. I mean, mortal fear. So what you got in mind, Carla? Zombies? Werewolves? Filing tax returns? Let us find out. Submitted for the approval of the Late Evening Society, I call this story The Loathsome Lexicon. The story's been passed down for many generations of witches. It is said there was once a little witch who always wanted to know more. Her name was Sybil. No matter how many books the elder witches gave Sybil, she was never satisfied. No, 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 just one more book will be enough, she lied. She would read, and then read some more, until this one day a strange person arrived at her door. Tara, did she just start talking in rhyme? Indeed, it is quite sublime. This strange person, dressed in a cloak so dark, also wore a wicked smile and brandished a warlock's mark. I have heard you seek riches of learning and mind. I know of a place where it is those you can find. The Elder's Tower, placed high on that hill, holds a book so special your brain it may yet fill. Sybil knew that in this tower none may enter, unless I knew a spell to which all locks would surrender. A little witch, such a spell I could provide, but I would need a little something in return, the warlock replied. She saved that rhyme at the last second. Still not a fan of the rhyming, for the record. Armed with the warlock's spell and curiosity in her heart, in the dark of night for the Elder's Tower Sybil did depart. Through a deep, dark wood she had to go, the long road thick with tension, mud, and snow. Against the warlock's spell, the tower door stood no chance, opening as easily as, a cheese shop in France. Up many stairs she went, without making a sound, until it was the warlock's mystic book she found. Wrapped in leather with an evil grimace on its cover, the book's secrets were now hers to uncover. You can rhyme cover with cover? Eager to learn, she sat and opened the tome. She really should have stayed at home, because this book held a curse sublime, and she was cursed to read it for all time. For the rest of her days, Sybil kept learning. To stop and take a break, her heart always yearning. She might now be the wisest of all witches. Now you know what happens to those too big for their britches. So, little witchlings, take heed, and learn something from this foolish deed. Haha, bravo, little Carla. It was really quite scary how you managed to keep on rhyming. Being forced to never stop your study? That's so scary it turned my legs to putty. Thank you, Arwell, but you can stop rhyming now. I don't think I can stop, I'm stuck in the zone. It's just sorta happening on its own. Carla, you got a potion for this? He's caught the rhymey-wimies. My mums might have something for him. Bonner and Carla carry Arwell away, and hope he lives until another day. And now, we get to see the conclusion of the epic adventures of Kitties and Caverns. But Jaguar says, a lot of GMing is making plans and then being ready to toss them mid-game and improvising as your players interact with the story and world. Yeah, completely agree. Alright, gang. Last time you made it to the evil magician Donner's evil lair. Are we ready? Finkelstein the Bard is ready. Cornwall, the evil witch, is ready to be, really evil. Nya nya, haha. Mateo lies down on the floor. He is so tired from what he calls the hustle life. Alright, you all enter the evil Donner's dungeon. The massive entry hall is adorned in gems, skulls, and cheap-scented candles. To the north is a large ornate staircase headed upwards. To the west is the thimble door. To the east is a strange hole. We go east. Why is it cardinal direction suddenly? I bet the evil guy is in the strange hole. That's where I'd hide if I had a weird hole. You look down the strange hole and see two glinting eyes looking back. Meow, you hear. I am the Hole Cat. Hello, little Hole Cat. Would you please help us find the evil wizard Donnie? Otherwise, I will, burn your hair. Alright, roll your influence skill. That's 2d6 plus your charisma modifier, and any modifiers for taking the talking to hole-based entities. What if I brought them their favorite treat? Would I not have to roll if I gave them a treat? Oh, hold your horses. We shouldn't forget your stinky modifier. What's the last time you bathed? It should be noted on your hygiene sheet. There. I don't know where that is. Mateo, can we just have Carla roll some dice and make up what happens? I just think that if we're gonna play the game, we should actually play the game. And this game has an oddly large number of rules for tracking personal hygiene. What sort of treat would you give the whole cat, Carla? Does the whole cat like cherry cookies? Because I have some of those in my inventory. I was thinking it might like them. Alright, fine, alright. Oh, meow. Thanks for these cherry cookies. We're friends now. Oh, how very exciting. A new friend. Would you like some tea with the cookies, little whole cat? Here's the amulet to break the evil wizard Donner's protective seal. Oh, and yes, tea is delicious. Yum, yum, yum. Jaguar says, oh geez, games like D&D are so crunchy, I can't with all the rules and stats. So specific to everything. It feels rigid to me, just way too overwhelming. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they're nice if you want to do certain things and if you want all of that, but there's times where breaking them can be just as fun. Also, hello and welcome, Gangle. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Glad you could join us. You got an amulet! Goodbye, little whole cat. I hope to see you again soon. So I can burn your hair! Nya nya haha! I am evil! To the north is a large... Oh, we've done that, so I went west this time to the simple door. You step through the door into what looks to be a kitchen area. The floor is covered with the remains of failed attempts at making Italian-style gazpacho. I slip on the floor and start rolling around in the gazpacho. My perfectly ironed shirt. It was mega expensive. Wah! I roll Mateo through the soup like some sort of human breadstick. Oh, very funny. Anyway, there's, a skeleton. Hi guys, I'm Jackson Bones, the skeleton butler. What's happening? I've always wanted to meet a skeleton. I've had one inside me all my life, but we never really got acquainted. I need your help, brave adventurers. Lord Donner wants a taste of my famous Italian-style gazpacho, but he's worked my skeleton crew to the bone. Now they're on strike. A mob of skeletons enter the room. They carry signs with text like, "We've got a bone to pick with our labor conditions," that sort of thing. Delicious Italian-style gazpacho might be our ticket to the evil wizard's lair. We need to find some sort of way to get a bowl of that icy cold soup. Really? I meant this more like a combat encounter. Alright, what do you do? I use my necromancy to resurrect Jackson Bones. Wow, I've got so much skin now, and eyeballs. You may call me Jackson Meat instead. That name is terrible. I stopped the spell. Jackson Meat's meat melts away. He's just Jackson Bones again. Thanks, but I wasn't a big fan of the whole having eyeballs thing. I steal trash. Oh, we're doing the raccoon bit again. Alright, you get some trash. Hooray! You got trash! I will trasher it, always. Oh, the puns. I don't see how that trash will help us make soup, but alright. Mateo, use your business skills. What, me? Look, Mateo might have business skills, but me, Mateo, sure as heck doesn't. It's make-believe, Arvel. Why don't you just roll some dice and come up with a funny story? All my worker co-op people out there, this is for you. Okay, I sit down with Jackson Bones and the skeleton crew to hash out a plan so each skeleton can own a share in the kitchen, vote on pressing issues to improve working conditions, and decide their own hours while self-regulating output. Worker cooperative! Oh, Arwell, wow, okay, roll for knowledge, worker cooperatives. Rolled a 16. Hey, being Mateo's kinda neat, I'm clever. The skeleton crew set to work, and quickly whips you up a bowl of ice-cold Italian-style gazpacho. Put soup in pocket. You got soup? Not just soup, pocket soup. See ya, skeletons. Now let's head to the north. You go up the impressive-looking stairs. At the very top's a massively magical sealed door. We use our magical amulet to break the seal. The magic seal shatters, but the door is locked from the inside. Only Donner himself could open it for you. Present the soup. I do my best Jackson Bones impression. Hey, boss man, I'm walking over here. Walking with delicious soup. The door slowly opens. An old voice croaks at you from the darkness. Bring me my soupies, child. Alright, time to go beat up the bad guy and end the game already. Wait, before we do that, I have a confession to make. Wait, is it Finkelstein? Does your tummy hurt? Nay, Cronwell. I have kept a terrible dark secret from you all. The evil wizard Donner is in actuality my brother. That cannot be. Yeah, agreed. You can't just make that up. But wouldn't it be more fun that way? Raise the stakes a bit? Everyone loves spicy family drama, right? Look, this is my story, alright? I spent all this time preparing all these cool puzzles and monsters encounters, and all you four want to do is ignore the rules, talk to the monsters, steal trash, and come up with your own stuff. That's not fun. I was sort of intimidated by all the rules at first, Mateo, but I ended up having a lot of fun, dear. Yes, but it's not my fun, not the fun I prepared for us. Well, if we're only allowed to have your fun, then I think I'm out. I was just starting to have a good time with it, too. Kind of a shame. Sorry, Mateo. I just wanted to help you tell our story. But I guess it wasn't really our shared story to you? I liked Whole Cat, Mateo. I hope you enjoyed being Whole Cat. Finally, Carla Lala, and R will step away from the game table, leaving you with Mateo. Come on, bud. You gotta see I was just trying to have us play a good game. We just want to share a story. Is that what you all were trying to do whenever you went off to collect garbage or whatever? I never really saw it that way. You all never looked at my puzzles or battled my skeletons. But at a couple of moments, like when Carla Lala fell in love with Whole Cat, I guess that felt good? Look, I've never really done this whole game mastering thing before, and it's a lot harder than I thought it'd be. It's a ton of work, you know? I've honestly been kind of overwhelmed this entire time. In that case, let us help, silly. Yeah, what she said. Oh, we didn't really leave. We just hid under the table. Snug fit. When you don't know what treats the Whole Cat would like, I'm sure we could help you come up with something. Everyone, thank you. I'm honestly a little embarrassed for acting out. None of that. Now, I'm ready to play. Alright, let's do this. So the evil Lord Donner looms over you. Finkelstein, my long-lost sister. How nice of you to bring me soup. Too bad I must bring you your doom. Oh no! Before Lord Donner can do anything to my friend, I burn his hair. You continue playing Kittens and Caverns for a while. You don't remember if you defeated Lord Donner, but it didn't really matter. You all had a blast doing bad voices and coming up with silly stories. And to me, that's the fun of it, right? Is coming up with silly stories that you can all share in. Jaguar says, GMing's a lot of work and can be very overwhelming, especially for starting out, but it gets better with practice. I'm sure. Sounds daunting in a lot of ways. But, Jalix, I hope that, if you're still there, like, this is kind of what I was getting at, where it's like, the point is to have fun and do the stories. If they are engaging in the game, it just may not be the way that the GM wants. And going against the GM doesn't necessarily mean that the GM is right. Like, if it's all the GM's way, I don't think that's a fun way of collaborative storytelling either. But we have one more conversation, and then we're gonna be moving back into Staxel. So Carla Lala's at the study table, teaching a not-so-captive audience. Now pay attention, class. I expect total focus from my animal care class. Carla's taking this whole being a teacher thing pretty serious, huh? I've never taken her for the strict teacher type, to be honest. Well, now you do you two need to be separated? No whispering in class, alright? Tara, please take your seat. I'm gonna be a good little student. Jaguar says this is why a session 0 is so important too. If the GM has one idea of how the game will go and the players all have their own idea, that can be clashing and someone's going to be frustrated. But if everyone can agree to a style of game, then it's less likely for folks to get frustrated. Yeah, that's a good point, Jaguar. And I think there was definitely a lack of communication on that end of how Mateo was feeling earlier on, that led to a lot of the conflict because the players wanted something different than what Mateo was offering. Madame Carlalala will never notice just how much restraint it took for you to press this button and not the other two. In today's class, we will discuss the foundational skill required for animal care, things such as the difference between a good and bad scritch and how to avoid ruffling feathers and so on. First off, I would like to know about the animals that are in your care. Tara, no need to list off all the cuties. I know your cats quite well by now. My parents have a dog. He's a sausage type named Oscar. Getting a bit old. He's just a little guy. I love little guys. I don't have any animals in my care, but my older sister has these two parakeets I look after. They're sisters, Dolly and Dangleby. Alright, before I discuss my prepared materials, do we have any questions, class? Actually, yes, I was at the pet emporium the other day, and a dog came up to me and sort of bit me. Not like a full-on bite. It didn't actually bite down. It didn't hurt or anything, but it did put a scare into me. I was just wondering, what is the best thing to do in that kind of situation, Madame Carlalala? Sounds like this one's a badly trained pup. If Oscar did something like that, I would discipline him for sure. Not that he ever would. He's a good boy. Besides, he'd never reach anything worth biting with those little legs. Arwell, I'm disappointed in you. Even doggies that do little bite are good boys. This dog was most likely frightened or agitated. Disciplining them will only make it worse. It would be much better to treat them with love and affection until they no longer misbehave themselves. I don't know, I still say that doggo needs a bit of tough love and lots of training. It's gotta learn what's right and wrong, don't it? As our fellow pet expert, what do you think, Tara? So I picked it's fine to train them, but not discipline them. And I think that disciplining animals is kind of ridiculous, honestly. They don't understand what you're doing, and they don't understand discipline in quite the way that, like, they don't communicate the way that we do. So if you discipline them outside of maybe no to train them or diverting their attention, which I think more falls in the realm of training them, I think that you get in the realm of something that borders on abusing the animal very quickly. They don't understand, and they're not going to learn from it. They're going to learn to fear you, not learn that the thing is not okay. There's a difference. I think this is where I land on personally. Reinforcing good behavior is important, you know, kind of like with human kids. What worked better for you as a kid, Arwell, when a teacher gave you a sticker or when they got upset with you? Oh, if you saw what I did with those stickers, you'd get upset with me too. Jaguar says exactly spot on, Tara. And then the more fearful they get, the more they act out. This is a huge problem with people surrendering their pets. Exactly. And I feel like with cats especially, it becomes very difficult for them to deal with the negativity. And I agree with Zero, all pets are good pets. Dogs tend to, I feel like they tend to adapt better to it, but that doesn't mean it's okay or good. The dogs tend to be more, like, loyal, even if they're being hurt or, you know, abused, which is kind of sad because they're bred to want to appease humans. Jaguar, we're on the same page. Whereas cats will act out if they're being mistreated. This class just covered some subjects I really did not expect. I now know things I cannot unlearn. So that was our first question. Let us get into my teaching materials. Oh, look at the time. I have to be going, class. I have another class to teach shortly. Sweet, saved by the bell. What you teaching next, Carla? The mice in my shop's attic just had a new nest, and those little rascals could use a lesson in respecting their downstairs neighbors and basic hygiene. You leave the study table. We've all learned something today, haven't we? We're not sure what, but you're sure it's something. And that was it. That was the extent of the game. So now we're gonna pop into Staxel and do our thing there, and then we'll get into Beacon Pines. So thank you all for joining me for Cat Cafe Manager. That was fun. Jaguar says, I love how they all bonded and we got to learn about the NPCs. Yeah, I felt it was an important part of the game to be able to show the NPCs and how you interact with them. The fact that they're kind of the crux of the story. They're the ones who explain the world around you. They're the ones explaining kind of the story of the game, if there is one. Going back to Staxel's like coming home. Yeah, I feel you there. Grab my controller. Boom. We got controller. Give me a second. I'm just loading up Staxel. There we go. Let's do that instead. There we go. We have Staxel. And I know exactly what I'm building already, so hopefully we won't spend too long here. Stream did not freeze for me, Jaguar. So last time we built this cute little kitty coffee mug. And what I want to build next to it as kind of thing to finish off this game, and build it like right around here, I think works. Doesn't have to be a big thing. Is I want to build one of the little kitties from the cat shrine. I think that would be a good one to build. And it's not going to be big. Like I said, just... So we need a stone block of some kind. We need one of those for the kitty's face. And we'll do that. Here's some of the base here. I'm just thinking we do... It's kind of round base, but it's kind of... A pickaxe to break that. Let's pop in the pickaxe. I think we'll do 2 layers like this. I think we'll add little things like that. And the thing widens slightly, so we'll go one more layer out. Don't do that too high. Then it kind of thins back out again. And we'll use this as like a face. And then we'll add the little kitty ears, which will come up into a point. That's a little much. This is not coming out how I wanted it to. Hold on. I can fix. Oh, actually, that's an interesting idea. Hold up. New plan. Instead of doing the face with a single block, grab the cloud block and put that in. And then I use stairs for the... I think these are redundant. Now I just need to point the ears, and I don't know if we have stone blocks that are stair color. Maybe we have a gray block I can use. Or just use the black ones. That might work. Let's try it. That's not working for me. It would be more like right here. It's weird how it looks in the game compared to how I would have to build it in Staxel. Just bear with me a second. Who was the first cat that we got in the cafe? It was Hero, which is why we modeled this one like that. Cats go by vibes. If you try to discipline them, they'll be like, bad vibes here, I don't like that. And they'll take it away from the situation. How can I make this look more kitty-like? I feel like they end up looking more like horns if they're that way. That's how the statue in the game does it. I don't know how to translate that into Staxel. Unless I put it on like the side of the head. It does not look cat-like at all compared to this. I think we might have to take a few liberties, as it were, and do the best we can. That looks better. I think I'm good with that. That's about as good as I think I'm gonna get that. Okay, and now for our portal to Beacon Pines. Let's find a nice grouping of trees. You know, like these pine trees over here. And we're gonna build see if that works for what I want to do. Oh, you won't let me place those on the ground. Okay. Then I need foundation. do that as that. Alright, so how big do I want to make this? First things first, I want to put some sort of light at the top of these trees so I can find this again easily if need be. Put a purple candle at the top of these two trees. And we will do that. Clear a little more space. So Beacon Pines has to do with adjusting things with a storybook. So, and a lot to do with this town, obviously by the woods. Don't know much more about it besides that, but I do know that. So we're going to take these two trees right here. And we are going to put down a little book and have the trees coming out of the book. As if the trees are coming out of the page. We'll do that. And we'll toss these. Okay. We'll set the foundation. This is going to be the base of the book. Let's say 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the tree 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Break this. Pull these out. And then one, two, three, four, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17 sounds good. So then we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then this would kind of be where the spine of the book would go. Right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, I had it correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Yep, and then move these. And that's the frame of the book. pages? Or rather. Do I wanna... No, I think this is fine, actually. Fill this in. Vera says I have to get going, y'all. I may pop back in here if I can get back from the store before the stream ends. If not, enjoy. Have a rest of your chill Sunday. Take care. Well, thanks for joining, Zero, and I will hopefully see you later. If not, enjoy the rest of your Sunday as well. Okay, and this should fill out the pages. And then I'm going to run a layer of page, I think, here, which I'm hoping looks like it's popped up because of the fold of the pages, but maybe not. I might have to use a different block for this, but we'll find out. I think I need a different block for that. Let me see what I have available. Maybe we can do something with that. If it'll let me place those there. Oh no, that's gonna float. I don't want floaty. That was a different color. I could use that. me see how that looks. I think the best we're gonna get to kind of represent the folds of the page are just this. And we've got the twin pines coming out of I think that works. What do we think? Does this kind of give that pages bunched up by the spine thing? Or should I just remove the foundation and just make it a blank white sheet? I feel like it'll lose some of its... But it's two separate pages. Just leave it as is? Alright. So I'm going to pop over to Beacon Pines, and then we're going to take a break, and then we'll start it up. If everybody's excited about that. So let us make our way into the next game. And I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just going to leave it on this screen. And I'll be back in a bit. I'll let you all listen to the eerie sounds. Be back in 5-ish minutes, people. See you soon. first thing I'm gonna have to do when I get to an options menu is change how loud that is. Jalix, this game was great when you played through it. Do you know what corner I should put my image? Any's fine? Okay. Sounds good. Let us enter Beacon Pines.
Dear reader, allow me to introduce you to my book. Though it might at first appear like many books you've come across, it is far from ordinary. You may, therefore, have some misunderstandings about its nature. The story that awaits you has not been fully told. In fact, its conclusion is not yet known, even to myself. It is in that way that my book is special. It is in that way that you are special.
I'm gonna go top left, because it looks like text is gonna be on the right side.
Without you, there is no story. Chapter 1. Normal isn't what it used to be. This is a story about change. Nestled in a shallow valley is the town of Beacon Pines. Far from the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, a young boy walks alone at dawn. His name is Luca Van Horn, and like you, dear reader, he's here for a reason.
Alright, so we got control of our character. Just drop that down slightly. How's that? Better compared to my voice? Hey, Dad. How are things going? Today's the first day of summer vacation. I start middle school next year, I guess. I was 6 years old when you died. And it's been 6 years now. From here on out, you'll have been gone longer than you were here. Feels like that should mean something. Mom always said this tree was your favorite spot in the world. Me too. Hey, Luca. I knew I'd find you here.
Rollo was Luca's closest friend. He possessed many fine qualities, but subtlety was not one of them.
Well, after I banged on your door till your gran answered, and after I checked the pond, and climbed up to the treehouse, then I knew I'd find you here.
Rollo finally noticed the tears welling in his friend's eyes, and the flowers on the grave.
Oh yeah, right. You and your mom always did this on your dad's birthday. Yeah. I didn't know if you were going to keep doing it now that your mom's gone too. She's not gone. She's just missing. Sorry, I meant to say since she went missing. She's gonna come back, Rollo. Of course she is. Yeah, the animation's beautiful. Okay, Dad. See you next time. I think I'm ready to get out of here. Sure, lead the way. Find a charm, a charmed life. Tickle?
Wonderful! I had a good feeling about you from the moment you opened my book. That charm is a very special thing. Very special indeed. Keep hold of it for now. Its purpose will reveal itself soon enough.
Okay, I kind of wanted to... They grow him back faster than I can... Every part of me wants to clear this whole thing. Okay, does not look like I can. I tried. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The whole reason I was looking for you. I was wondering if you'd ever get to that. I found the perfect way to start our summer. How's that?
Rollo looked to the side suspiciously.
Not here. They might be watching. They who? Shh, not so loud. We need to do this in a secure location. Mission control. Alright, I just have to tell Gran and then we can head out. What are you gonna tell her? I don't know, I'll think of something. If it's all the same to you, I'll meet you at the welcome sign. Your Gran still kind of wigs me out. I don't do well with new people. She moved in like half a year ago. Just meet me at the sign when you're done. Suit yourself, I won't be long. Tell Gran before heading out with Rollo.
Dear reader, forgive me for this interlude. Remember that charm you found in the dandelion patch?
Mm-hmm.
There are more of those special charms to discover throughout Beacon Pines. They've been known to reveal themselves to those who are willing. Some of them can be found in this very house. Since Gran had moved in, the house was more peaceful, more orderly.
Interesting choice to have the narrator have a voice, but not give voices to the actual characters.
And more covered in flowery fabric.
Ponder.
Gran had already lit the fire. She kept a warm house, as if by grandmotherly obligation. One of his father's old stethoscopes. Luca had spent countless hours listening to anything and everything with it.
Luca do be pondering though. Shark, you be right.
Not for years, though. Just some dusty knickknacks. An array of prepared meals crowded the refrigerator, each labeled with a day of the week. A pair of dull scissors, a broken can opener, a mostly empty bottle of glue, and some loose string.
Junk. I found trash. Excuse me.
The only piece of furniture Gran had brought when she moved in was an old hutch.
Shark says Tara's just a raccoon in human form. I might be. I might be.
Oh my! This is quite exciting! I am now certain that you are the one I've been waiting for all these years.
I walked into the backyard.
You'll recall I was a bit coy regarding the use of charms earlier. Excuse me, I tend to have a flair for the dramatic. You are about to encounter your first turning point. There are certain times in this tale when everything hinges on a single word. Step forth, dear reader. On the other hand, I suppose there's no reason to rush things. Gran will be waiting when you return.
Yeah, I didn't check out the whole house. There's an upstairs.
Luca paused at his parents' bedroom door. He just wasn't ready to go in. Gran had commandeered the upstairs closet when she moved in. Some things need shelter from a young boy's mischief, she said. Gran's bed was undisturbed. Luca didn't mind that she had a habit of falling asleep in front of the fireplace. It meant that he could read late into the night.
The little jump animation is so cute.
Luca tossed on his favorite old sweater. Even though it was the first day of summer, a chill still hung in the air.
Chill.
Gran's moving in meant that most of Luca's things had been crammed in the corner. Luca was somewhat annoyed by the situation.
I feel like there's a sixth one. There's enough space for a sixth one. Wee, jumpy. Nice of her to not commandeer his parents' room. I mean, that might also be kind of weird. Is there anything maybe in the front yard?
Luca knew that if he...
Oh, okay. No. Just double checking. If there's anything else.
Young Luca would spend hours hiding in the bushes, waiting for a chance to jump out and startle his mother. She always enjoyed humoring him by feigning terror. A sturdy old wheelbarrow. A beginner's guide to gardening laid open on the bench.
Jalix, do you happen to remember if there was a sixth one before talking to Graham? Everything in my gamer gut is telling me there's supposed to be another one before I talk to her. The detachedness of the world's room is an interesting choice. Makes things feel small and focused for you. Jaguar says all the trees in nature are so pretty. I got all of them for now. Okay. Hey, Gran. I'm gonna go hang with Rolo for the day. See you later. Hold up now. Where are you and Rolo headed exactly? Oh, nowhere special.
The less Gran knew, the better for everyone involved.
So is this one where I want to pick the correct choice first, or do I want to pick incorrect choices so I can see what happens and show it off, and then pick the correct choice? I just want to understand the mechanics before I... You can redo the choice at any time. Perfect. So I'm gonna pick the worst choice possible.
We were just gonna go hide for the day.
We were just gonna go hide for the day. Hide?
Traditionally, when one is trying to hide something, they avoid literally using the word hide.
Yeah, I guess Rolo bet some other kids that we could beat them at hide and seek. Aren't you a little old for that? It's not like there's much else to do around here. We'll make sure you boys are done playing your little game in time for
All's
supper.
well that ends well. Impressive. You've managed to navigate your first turning point without too much of a mess. That is the power of charms. A single word can change everything. I think it's time to introduce you to the Chronicle. The Chronicle is a record of the decisions you've made. You can see the turning point, which has been revealed. At any time, you can use the Chronicle to go back and invoke different charms, creating new branches.
Got it.
Luckily for us, this is the one and only turning point where the charms won't dramatically alter fate. It's the perfect opportunity to experiment with rewriting things. We were just gonna go ponder for the day.
We're just gonna go ponder for the day. Oh, really? What are you boys gonna ponder on such a lovely day exactly?
This was Luca's chance to sell his alibi.
You know, big stuff, small stuff, medium, mostly medium pondering.
Nailed it.
Well, make sure you don't overburden yourself with a preponderance of pondering. Huh? Oh, forget it. Off with you now. I like this mechanic. I just wanted to play around with it before we move forward, but chill is the one I wanted to go with.
We were just gonna go chill for the day.
We're just gonna go chill for the day.
The best lies are built on truth.
You boys are always in a hurry to do nothing. We stick with what we're good at. We'll make sure you're done chilling in time for supper.
Easy.
Whee! Oh, and Luca? You and Rolo stay out of trouble. I know. Get into trouble with Rolo. Trouble started. Left the water running. Oh wow, it stays running. Okay, let's not do that. Let's not waste water. Come on. Woo! Dang it, Rollo.
For a town that saw few visitors, the welcome was perhaps more grand than necessary. The road leading to Beacon Pines was long and uninspiring, a sort of natural barrier for the impatient.
You know the drill. Don't let anyone discover our secret path. Slowly backs away and then runs.
Chapter 2. Welcome to Beacon Pines. For many years, this valley had been a small mining outpost.
I'm getting a small mining outpost, you don't say. Definitely getting vibes similar to Night in the Woods in terms of the tone, but definitely different medium of sharing that type of story.
It wasn't until Sharper Valentine built his fertilizer company that Beacon Pines was established. Over the next 30 years, the town had grown and prospered until the foul harvest and his sudden death.
Jalek says, oh right, you played that too, I forgot. Yeah, I played through that whole thing. That was a good one.
In the 6 years since, everyone was simply trying to get by.
Sorry, young Mr. Van Horn can't talk right now. Very busy with preparations.
Mayor Augustus Valentine was not busy.
Oh, sorry, Gus. How many times do I... Mayor of Valentine.
Flustered, Gus instinctively loosened his tie.
Keep up the good work. I must briefly attend to a concerned citizen. Huh? It's nothing, keep at it. Alright, what can the mayor of Beacon Pines do for you today? Oh, just saying hi, I guess. Well, good day to you too, young Mr. Van Horn. Hey, Mr. Kerr. Hey there, pal.
William Kerr was the CEO of Perennial Harvest Company. He had become a fixture around town over the past few years. After the failing of Valentine fertilizer, the town was hungry to welcome a new source of employment.
Excited for the big festival? Oh, I'm sure. Come on now, when I was your age, there was nothing more exciting than a town festival. The food, the music, the dancing. Sounds pretty alright. You're gosh dang right it is. I'm looking forward to letting off some steam myself. Make sure to invite all your little friends. I couldn't keep Rollo away if I tried. Excellent. Sorry, Luca. Gotta get back to the proverbial grindstone. Our harvest awaits and all that. Oh, now. Left side's a little low. Old Pickler's Pond. I'm just standing here, cool, leaning on this post. Hey, Mr. Sinclair.
Mr. Sinclair continued snoring and lifted one eyelid just enough to see who it was.
Jalek says, yeah, it's certainly more animated than the average visual novel. The characters bounce a little bit and the expressions change a lot, which I appreciate. I mean, it brings the world alive. You know, a lot of the static images don't always do it for me. I enjoy the fact that the world feels like it's lived in. Like, that's a very important aspect of storytelling to me, is that the world can't be static and dying, like, around you. Or not even living in the first place around you.
A tactic he often used to avoid undesirable conversation.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Sinclair. God, don't you see I'm sleeping, boy? How's the napping today? Crummy as always. Used to have a perfectly nice view from here. No perennial harvest put that monstrosity of a building in the way. Why don't you just move your chair a bit? Why should I be the one that moves? If it's a showdown they want, I ain't gonna be the one who blinks. Come on, Andy, grab his wallet. I'm sorry, Iggy, I can't. Do it or we pound you. Yup. But Mom, my mom said, yeah, but, if I had a nickel for every yeah, but, I'd be the freaking king of nickels. Ain't that right, Tish? Yup. Mr. Van Horn, do you have a moment? It's just Luca. Golly, I'm sorry. It's my first week at Perennial
He
Harvest.
pulled a pen from the pocket of his sweater vest and began to frantically jot something down on a clipboard.
Wonderful. It won't happen again. If we're going to be on a first-name basis, then you call me Pete. Oh, nice to meet you, Pete. Sorry, what are you writing? Oh, just documenting. Gosh, it's exciting to be a part of something so darn special. You know, it's just about the new fountains and phone booths. We're gonna change the world. And it all starts here, in Beacon Pines. Isn't that amazing? Uh-huh. Anyway, I'd better get... Oh, that reminds me. We'd love to hear your thoughts. My thoughts? You bet. If we're gonna change this town, we need to get every detail right. That sounds intense. Haha. Changing the world is intense. So what do you say? Did you answer a few questions? Well, I guess if it's quick. Wonderful. Opening to answering a few quick questions. One down. See, it's not that hard, is it? Oh, okay, we're going already. Question 2. What is something you love about Beacon Pines? I've never really thought about it before. Perfect. It's the only place I've lived. See, that wasn't so painful.
Pete stopped scribbling and glanced up from the clipboard.
What was it? I guess not. Huzzah! Our first 3 questions answered in record time. Are you literally writing down everything? Thank you so much for your time. I need to process these answers. We can save the rest of your thoughts for later. Okay. Our harvest awaits. I am not allowed to take the trash. I guess I should go find Rollo. Mission control. Authorized personnel only. Hey Jetson. Is the line playing any tunes today? No bites this morning, I'm afraid. Come to think of it, I can't remember the last time I reeled one in. But hey, it was never about the catch. This is where I come to think. Yeah, that's what my dad used to do here. That reminds me. If you ever want his chair back, I've taken to standing recently. Keeps me from falling asleep at the reel. If you don't mind, I think it should stay. Not at all. An empty chair makes for a great listener. Yeah, that new building
Whenever Luca saw his dad's chair by
does
the
not
pond,
fit in.
it reminded him of the days they'd pack up a couple of sandwiches and fish until sundown. Luca opened the tackle box and picked the perfect bait. Luca gently baited a feather onto the hook. Good for skimming the surface.
Give it a good cast now. You have to reel in a bit faster, or your catch will lose interest. Eh.
Luca gently good for skimming the
Easy there, buckaroo. You don't know your own strength.
Luca tied a shoestring. What fish could resist a nice shoestring?
Where do you think the other one is? Hard to say. Sometimes things drift away. That's not fair. No, it's not. Well, wherever it is, I hope the other boot at least has a sock to keep it company.
Luca gently good for skimming.
Well, I'll be switched. It's your old rubber ducky. You were just a little drooling ball of fur when you lost that. Cried for days. I told you it'd turn up. He.
Luca gently baited F good for skimming.
Oh, is it just gonna repeat?
Luca tied what fish could.
Gotta get more bait. I see, I see. What do you say we head out to find some more? I see, so if I want to go back, I talk to the chair again once I get more bait. Gotcha. I see how this is working.
The boys had a good thing going. As long as they kept old Jeff happy, they had an endless source of precious materials to add to the treehouse. After Luca's father had passed, Rollo became obsessed with them building their own Hank atomic star scraper. It was some time before Luca realized it was Rollo's way of keeping him occupied. On certain nights, when the clouds were just right, the boys could tune into strange patterns of static. Rollo thinks it's aliens. He always thinks it's aliens.
Shark says I want a treehouse like that. I wouldn't even know how a treehouse like that would work. Like how when we even build one of those. That's
Luca's winter coat decommissioned for the summer. With the cold holding out longer than usual, he reconsidered its usefulness.
Jaguar says I want to touch the paper of the book. It looks so smooth.
Luca looked up at the satellite dish. Rollo nearly killed himself putting that up into the tree. While it didn't turn the radio into an interstellar communicator, as he'd hoped, it did at least boost the signal enough to overhear truckers one town over.
Okay, what's this top secret plan to start our summer? So you know the abandoned warehouse by my place? The old Valentine building? Yeah, well it isn't abandoned. What makes you think that? Get this. Last night, it was glowing. Glowing? Are you sure? Kinda. That place has been empty since the foul harvest. Yeah. Who would even want to poke around that place? We would, Rollo. We would. Wait. It's just a busted old warehouse. I just meant we could do some research at the library. You actually want to go to the warehouse? What do you expect to find? Answers. My mom's out there somewhere. And it seems like everyone wants to pretend that she's gone for good. You don't have to come, Rollo, if you don't want to. Luca, remember that time I sort of accidentally burned down the chicken coop? and you jumped in and said it was your fault before my paw throttled me. This is a flaming chicken coop sort of deal. I've got your back. Thanks, Rella. Now that I think about it, poking around a decrepit fertilizer warehouse is exactly how I want to spend the first day of summer. Let's go! Jaguar asked, since we're all in spoopy time, what's everyone's favorite candy? Felix asked, do you all have toffee in the US? Yeah, we have toffee.
Luca tied a small magnet to the line, fishing with the law of attraction.
You got a key? Where do you think the lock is for this key? Now, why would we want to find that? Because then we would know the secret. God, that's no fun. The second we know what it unlocks, it just becomes a boring old key. Right now, this key could unlock anything. Cool. It's Schrodinger's key. It could literally unlock any box. Could even have a cat inside. I'm just catching my breath a bit. Go on, I'll catch up. There's a cat in the key? No, there's a cat in the box that the key might unlock. Or maybe there isn't. We don't know. There could be anything in the box. Felix says we are talking about the caramel-coated toffee with the hazelnut and chocolate on top, right? That is... yeah. That is one form of toffee. Hey, Mrs. Nelson. Morning, Luca. Any plans for the summer? Not really. There could be a key in the box that opens a cat. That's true. Heard anything about the old fertilizer warehouse? Any strange happenings? Can't say I have. Either way, a dusty warehouse is no place for a young boy. You be safe now.
Miss Hatch could often be found near the fountain. Too absorbed in a book to be distracted.
The two wandered down the wooded path, unaware of the danger ahead. Oh, this is getting good. Luca, just the fella I was looking for. Hey, Roxy, what's up?
Oh, right. Rendezvous with Roxy. This is an important turning point. The first time where your charms will change the course of fate. And currently, we only have one suitable charm at our disposal. Have no fear, we can always return later using the Chronicle once we find more charms. Well, now I'm just rambling. Where were we?
Have you seen my blockhead brother today? He skipped out before breakfast. Well, not really, no. Can't say I have. Can't say or won't say. Roxy, would I lie to you? Luca, wait up! I almost forgot to tell you. Roxy might be lurking around here. This is one of her favorite places to stand around and be useless. Rolo? So we need to make sure she doesn't spot us. Rolo? Why are you doing that turning thing with your body? Why are you not scared? What? You're not scared, are you? She's harmless. And a chump. She might be... She's right around the corner, isn't she? Don't mind me, just over here lurking uselessly. Oh, hey, sis. Nice weather we're, having, eh? I couldn't help notice you snuck out this morning before breakfast. Wasn't hungry. Also, couldn't help but notice your morning chores were left unchored? Roxy, I'm gonna level with you. I'm sick and tired of digging up carrots. We gotta pick up the slack since the foul harvest. Almost every carrot I dig up is rotten, and the rest look like they were hit with Hank's atomic shrinkle ray. All the more reason to keep on digging. There's gotta be more to life than puny carrots. Look, Roxy, Luca and I have places to be, so if you don't mind. Oh, I do mind. I'm not gonna catch hell again because of you. So either you march yourself home and harvest those carrots, or I haul you home myself.
Rollo froze as Roxy took a step toward him, cracking her knuckles. Luca knew he had one chance to save his friend from being dragged home.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little... Ooh, I don't think that's gonna go well.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little chill.
Come on, Roxy, it's the first day of summer, the sun's shining. We just want to take it easy. Let's leave tomorrow's problems for tomorrow. That's great and all, but Rollo's problems have a way of becoming my problems. And Pa's always says tomorrow's work is best left for yesterday. March you, big oaf. Aw, rats. I expect a full report about the Valentine place. A full report! Investigate the Valentine warehouse alone. So, Fitz, what are you up to this lovely day? Nope. Cool.
Holden Wilder ran the local paper of record. The Beacon.
The Beacon. Hey, Mr. Wilder. Morning, Luca. What's the day have in store for you? I was wondering if you heard any news about... News? The Beacon knows the news that needs knowing. Any news about the old fertilizer warehouse? Nope. Oh. Rollo thought he saw some lights in there last night. Rollo ought to be careful around that part of town. The winds of change are blowing, and change is a dangerous animal. Last Chance Diner. Right. Piper? Oh, hey, Luca, what's up? You know it's summer break, right? Of course. And, it's like morning? Correct. And you're studying. Like they say, the early bird gets the proper education required for a successful and fulfilling career later in life. Hey, Zariel. Hiya, Luca. Could you please tell this lazy butt to help out in the cafe? Luma, Zariel would like you. Luca, let me give you a bit of gem of advice. If you never do what you don't love, then you'll never work a day in your life. Wow. You're really setting the kid up for success. Apparently it's called tofe in the US. Those are yummy. I'm gonna have to hunt down for those then. A history museum. Hey, Bert. Hi, Luca. I'm doing some fact-checking for the town history exhibit. Look, kid, I'm just here to put up the lights. But did you know, when the town was founded, there were only 7 citizens, and they all worked for a mining company, and there was only one dirt road leading to town, and there's still only one road leading to town. Oh, right. Hey, Griffin. How's the ice cream gig going? Not great. It's still pretty cold out. And in the business of selling cold, I'm sure things will warm up soon. Mr. Tulliver's not at his grocery stand. He's prepping for the festival, I guess. Gotcha. Achievement unlocked, watermelon bongo. Play that funky music. Oh, that was funny. I needed that. That's how you check if they're good. Play that funky music, dear boy. Button mash time. Go. Alright, I'm good. I'm satisfied. Hey, Dawn. Sorry to wake you. No problem, it comes with the job.
Dawn had dreams of becoming a big-time reporter. At night, she searched for the story that could be her big break. By day, she hawked papers at the newsstand.
What's up? Rollo said he saw something strange going on at the warehouse. You know anything about that? You might say I've heard some things. I cannot do that high-pitched sound that she's doing. That's gonna hurt my voice. I'm working on a story about it right now. So what's going on? Can't say quite yet. I still need to follow up on a few leads. Keep me in the loop, okay? Sure thing. Things seem to be quiet in town today. Yep, everyone's preparing for the festival. Should be back to normal tomorrow. Catch you then. Catch you then. Oh, and Luca? I'm really sorry I haven't been able to find out anything about your mom yet. I'm just grateful you tried. I'm still keeping my ears up. Let's check out the Last Chance Dining. I guess Mrs. Fratelli is getting ready for the festival. Okay. So we can't do that. Sharper Valentine, founder of Beacon Pines. Never underestimate what a great man can do given time. Sharper Valentine.
A bit much, if you ask me.
Indulgent. Hey, Solomon. Apologies, no time for a chit-chat. Looks like the library hasn't opened yet. I'll check back later. Why has library no open yet?
Jeff's hardware closed down about a year ago.
I want to see what this candy you're all talking about is. Oh no, that's not a common candy here at all.
The effects of the foul harvest stretched wide. When there are no crops in the field, tractors don't need fixing.
Luca, my boy, hold up a tick. Oh, hey, Mr. Nuncreed. I was just on my way to. I just sold the last jar of your grandmother's preserves. Can't stock the shelves fast enough, turns out. That's great, but I guess Juniper will just have to swing by with more of her lovely jam. Uh-huh. Don't let this old man slow you down. Just a reminder that she still owes me that
A
dance.
promise Gran regretted the second it was made.
Will do. She's a fine woman, that Juniper. Yeah, she's pretty cool, I guess. A real fine woman. Gotta go. Why are you telling that to the little kid? Sweeter than any jam on earth. Leave the little kid out of your feelings for his grandma. Oh, hey, Luca. Hey, Joey. How's the bug hunt going? Not great. Bugs have been shy this week. Bugs get shy? Oh, sure, bugs aren't that different from people. Sometimes they just want to be left alone. If you're going into Weepwood, just be careful where you step. No bug crunching. Got it.
The path led into a small hollow at the edge of Weepwood.
Okay, no turning back now. Caution, electrified fence. Is that sign new?
The fence thrummed with a gentle electric buzz.
Okay, so what would Rollo do if he was here?
Luca often asked himself what Rollo would do, so that he could rule out that option.
I'm definitely not touching that thing.
Luca knew that if he gave up now, as sparks flew from the fence, the light atop that section shut off. 2 bulbs remained. One more to go.
That's 2.
The fence's buzzing gave way to silence.
Okay, moment of truth.
Every kid in town knew the old Valentine fertilizer building. Long abandoned, the warehouse once served as the industrial heart of Beacon Pines. Now, it stood only as a reminder of things left behind. The dormant building showed strange signs of life.
Okay, so Rollo wasn't exaggerating for once. What's going on here?
There was only one way to find out. The water looked almost diseased. It flowed slowly into the woods. The hose emitted a subtle sound. It was actively draining some kind of liquid.
Wow, that smells awful. Too bad Rollo's not here. He'd have no problem poking around in here. Which means I need Rollo here, which means I need to go back and make a different decision at some point in order to get access to getting Rollo here.
After the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate from the rest of town. The Valentine mansion loomed over every other building in town, both figuratively and literally.
Jaguar says I like some of the classics like Bit of Honey, Peanut Butter Toffee, like Mary Jane. Felix says those sound good. Peanut butter bars are good too. Droopy Dog's a hero. Dark piano music is nice. Property of Valentine Fertilizer Company. What's sold? Okay.
He heard faint sounds coming from the other side of the door. He pressed his ear against the cold metal to hear better.
A zipper? Footsteps?
The sound of footsteps grew louder.
Hello? Shit. I was not expecting that to be one of the badges, or whatever they are. That caught me off guard. Alright everybody, this is the screen. I'm just gonna leave the screen on the rest of the stream. It's just gonna say shit, no context. Anybody pops into the stream that's new, just sees the word shit. The next hour will just be this screen. Okay, I can't do that for real. But that's funny.
The heavy steel door knocked Luca to the ground. Disoriented, he looked up to see an imposing figure silhouetted in a green glow. It lunged toward him. He tried to scramble away, but felt a gloved hand latch onto his ankle. Luca watched his fingernails leave trails in the dirt as the hand slowly dragged him back through the door, into the lab, into the green light.
This is a story about change.
This is a story about change. It was far from the sort of change Luca imagined for himself. But change is, after all, a dangerous animal. The end? I probably should have warned you about this. There are many paths that our story can take. Most will end in tragedy. But don't let that discourage you. We will find the ending that this story deserves. I just know it. From here on out, a charm will have a check mark when it's been used to its full potential at a given turning point. Now, let's try something different.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little shit.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little shit.
Make a break for it. What have you done? Ah! Did that little shit just kick me? Run all you want, little twerps. You gotta come home eventually. Sorry. Investigate the Valentine warehouse with Rollo. Ooh. I win. Little hope. I am the champion. We were racing? Did that road get longer? Like anything ever changes around here? It seemed longer. You're just lightheaded from the run. You really need to pace yourself better next time. Not sure I would take advice from second place. Has that sign always been there? Wait, what? Caution, electrified fence. No, that's definitely new. Creepy. How are we gonna get around an electric fence? Don't worry, I got this. Good job. Why'd you do that? Pa always says you can figure out what the plan is when you're done. Great, what now? Well, I did my part. Established the touching the fence is bad. I'm sure you can handle it from here. I'll supervise. From a safe distance. Whoa, you're a genius. I think that did it. Luca, you never fail to impress.
As the glowing windows of the old warehouse came into view, Rollo began to bounce excitedly.
Check it out. Dang, Rollo, you weren't exaggerating for once. Was there ever any doubt? This definitely needs investigating. Good thing 2 ace detectives are on the case. This is bizarre. This is awesome. Rumble. Did you feel that? What the excitement in the air? You bet your butt I did. Check out this puddle. That's not normal. And his hose. Oh man, the door's locked. Try harder. No dice, it won't budge. Oh well. Excuse me. This dumpster's new, right? I bet it's got stuff in it. I can't really see what's in here. Who did all this? My nose is itching. I think I'll smell some treasure. Are you sure that isn't the hazardous waste? Just help me get in. Rollo, it would be my honor to throw you in the trash. Come on, Lady Luck. So what's in there? Let's see. Here's a squishy bag of squish. Wow. A good inch of stagnant sludge. Your natural habitat. Wait, hold the phone. Hold 2 phones. Check these bad boys out. Are those walkie-talkies? Just like Hank Atomic communicators. Do these actually work? Ground command to Hank Atomic. Hank, do you read me? This is Hank Atomic, ground command. You're coming in 5 by 5. How are your vital readouts, Hank? It's getting a little stuffy in here. Requesting assistance for evac. Help is on the way. Jaguar brings up Rumble in the Jungle, an odd reference, Jethro Tull. I haven't heard that in so long. I should listen to that. Jethro Tull's amazing. What was that? Someone's coming. Give me your hand. I'm trying. My hands are covered in squish. Scoot over. I'm coming in. Tell me you saw that? Dude, I don't know what I saw. He's coming back. Get down. That looks like a body. That's wiggly body material.
The boy sat petrified under the weight of the bag.
Oh god. Please tell me that's not what I think it is. Luca, do you know what separate run-of-the-mill detectives from ace detectives? A ridiculous hat? When the chips are down, ace detectives dig deeper for clues.
Rollo felt around at the large sack which burdened them.
Uh-huh.
He snapped off a tag from just within a small zipper opening in the bag.
It's some sort of badge or something? What's it say?
Rollo held the badge up to a faint shaft of light within the dumpster.
Dr. Prescott, Deep Engineering? It's a name tag? Who would throw away a bag full of slimy old name tags? I think it's just one name tag in a bag full of something else. Okay. I think we should make a break for it. Stay calm. This is no time to panic. I'm not panicking. You're panicking. Rollo, calm down. You don't have to squeeze my hand so hard. Dude, I'm not holding your hand. Quit messing around. What other slime-covered hand would be in here? Ah. I am beginning to see the benefits of your run for our lives plan. Right, we've clearly established that I'm faster than you, so I'll go first. Why not go together? Flaming chicken coup, Luca. I'll make sure the coast is clear. After I go, count to 100. If you hear me yell, run. If you don't hear me yell, run. Actually, either way, haul ass. Rolo, I'll give you the credit. You've found an eventful way to start our summer. What'd I do? Well, here goes nothing.
Lucas sat in the dark, tracking the sound of Rolo's footsteps as he ran. 1, 2, 3. He pressed his ear to the dumpster wall, straining to hear Rolo's footsteps as they faded away. 15, 16, 17. He tried not to think about the contents of the dumpster as he counted. 35, 36, 37. The thick stench made it hard to breathe. Screw it, that's long enough. Luca carefully lifted the lid and peered out. Nothing. No sign of Rolo. No sign of the man in the yellow suit. Time to haul ass. Luca clambered from the dumpster, stumbling to his knees. He was up like a shot and running, sprinting toward home as fast as he could. Beacon Pines flew by, blurred by the tears that welled up in his eyes. He wouldn't remember getting home at all that night. Throwing his front door open, storming up the stairs to his room, and surrendering to sleep almost as abruptly as he hit his pillow. Chapter 3. Finding a friend. The next morning, it was quieter than usual at the breakfast table. Only the sound of silverware and chewing interrupted the awkward silence.
I finished jarring a mess of jam last night. Uh-huh. So that'll need to get delivered into town today. Okay. So what did you and Rolo get up to yesterday? Oh, nothing interesting. Hello? Calm down. No, of course, he was the right thing to do. Start gathering, folks. I'll be right there. Are you sure there isn't anything you want to tell me about yesterday? Anything I want to tell you? Not really. We just sort of ran around a bit.
Gran's brow furrowed. She let out a long sigh. Her voice was quiet and even.
I have to go take care of something. You are to stay in this house for the day. Under no circumstances are you to leave. What? If I am not back by dinner, there's stew in the icebox. But nothing. You are to stay here, understand? Yeah. Say it. I'll stay here till you get back. Good. Well, that was strange. Alright, so basically, the check marks mean that I've cleared that path. And I'm assuming change is used for any bad endings to bring you back. So we are now on the shit path, which is the correct path. Because the chill path got us killed.
A faint electronic sound floated in the air.
Is that coming from upstairs? Sorry, Jalix, what was sure? Hello? Is anyone there? Shit is the only path you can follow further right now, which makes it the correct path for the moment. Hello? Rolo, is that you? Over? Strange. Okay, I just wanted to see something. I'll skip past this since we already did this.
An eerie electric.
I'm assuming if a new option pops up on one of the branches, it'll just be there. I don't have to click into it first. Oh, hey, Roxy. Is this about me accidentally kicking you yesterday? Is Rolo here? No. Look at me, Luca. This is serious. Is Rolo here? No, I haven't seen him since yesterday. Rolo didn't come home last night. What?
A pit formed in Luca's stomach.
Where was the last place you saw him? We were playing around in Weepwood, and then it was late, and we went home. Weepwood. If he's alive, I'm gonna kill that little creep. Is there anything else? Anything that he said?
Luca's mouth felt dry.
No, we were just messing around. Okay. I need to go let people know to check the woods. You just stay out of trouble. Go see if he's hiding in the library or something.
Luca could feel his heart beating in his throat.
Rolo? Where are you? Graham said not to leave home. So... game over, people. Can't disobey Graham. Or can we? Hey Bert, have you seen Rolo? Nope. Though I've mostly been talking to the clipboards. They're setting up lots of stuff for the festival. This one said he had to process some answers. I told him that was fine. I'll wait right here till he gets back. Luca would disobey Gran the instant she exited the front door. That's because Luca's a terrible child. And my version of Luca would have stayed home and been responsible. Howdy, Luca. Hello again, Pete. I'm not Pete, you silly goose. It's Toby. You could have fooled me. Well, hey, it's no problemo. The important thing is, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I'm getting that impression. We're all part of something special, Luca. And it all starts right here in Beacon Pines, I got it.
Toby looked up from the clipboard excitedly.
But that's boring. But that's how you stay alive when there's a serial killer person that ended your story in the alternate path and timeline. Toby looked up from the clipboard excitedly. That's right. So how about you start by telling me? Look, no offense, but I've got my own stuff to take care of. Aw, you joker. We're all part of this together. You'll just let us know when you're free to answer a few questions. We really need to get back to work. Just a couple more minutes. If Roxy said she'll be here, then she'll be here. I just don't see why I'm standing around, doing nothing. But you have magic time book powers, so it's fine. Yes, but under normal circumstances, I generally don't have magic time book powers, so I generally have to consider self-preservation as an option. And, character in the game doesn't have those powers. I have those powers as the player. So the character should be responsible and try to stay alive. But unfortunately, I have brainwashed and controlled him, and I'm literally using a controller to control his movements, so deal with it. When I could be standing around doing nothing and getting paid for it. Come on, Lumi, Roxy needs our help. Yeah, well, good intentions don't qualify as legal tender. My parents wouldn't listen. No offense, but isn't Rolo always getting into trouble? Something feels different this time. What can we do to help? We need to check where the adults aren't. So I guess it's up to us to check Wheatwood. Our shift doesn't end for a couple of hours. We could spend the time making posters. That'd be great, I guess. Right, Fitz and I will check the Wheatwood. We'll be back later to pick up the posters. I think my dad has a map of Wheatwood. Let's swing by the house before and grab it before we head out. Hi Luca, what's up? You haven't seen Rolo around recently, have you? He doesn't come around here much. Not since they made a rule that he can only order decaf. That seems like a fair rule, though. For Rolo. Rolo does not seem like that, like Rolo does well with caffeine. Hey Jetson, have you seen Rolo come by this way by any chance? Afraid not. As elusive as the fish in this here pond.
Luca stuck a toy stretchy hand onto the hook. Those things always get dirty anyway.
Make sure to always talk to the person sitting next to the fountain in the main town square. It's very important. Yeah, I'm planning on it. I'm talking to everybody. Should we give it to Mom? She likes jewelry. That's a sweet thought, Buckaroo. But I'm not sure she'd appreciate a pond bracelet.
Luca stuck those things always.
Is there no run button to make my character move a little faster? Just wondering. His eyes went wide in disbelief. What do you mean, vanish? That's impossible. Oh my, he doesn't even see the danger he's in. what's this about a missing child? I must stress that the situation is completely under control. It just seems so terrible. Are you sure there's nothing we can do to help? Nonsense, young Mr. Cotter will turn up safe and sound, I'm certain. You just focus on settling in. I trust my sister has supplied you with suitable lodging. Oh yes, Miss Valentine has been more than accommodating. We were just telling our daughter Beck that... Now where did she run off to? Hey, Dawn. Is it true about Rollo? Yeah, he didn't come home last night. I wonder if it's connected. Connected to what? I was checking in on reports around increased activity around town. What sort of activity? Windowless trucks, mechanical noises, strange lights. Your typical shady stuff. Who would be doing all that and why? Well, I have a few leads. The Valentine family's always suspicious. Perennial Harvest certainly has the resources. Do you have any idea where Rollo could be? The best place to start looking is where the trail went cold. Where did you last see him? We were in Weepwood, right by Valentine's fertilizer. I'll check out Weepwood when my shift ends. I'll do my best work at night. I love the bad friend, yeah. The library.
Oh, the cobs I've eaten. A salad-centric travel guide for the mildly adventurous.
Eat your salads.
Sally Seashore's simple succulent sundries. Luca brushed off a smudge of dust. Or maybe it was flour. 30 recipes so easy you'll doubt it's even edible.
Succulent.
A peek behind the curtain. The methods and ruminations of Patrick C. Montesquieu. One of the greatest acting minds of our time. By Patrick C. Montesquieu.
Oof. That is pretty rough.
There were rarely any actual new additions.
I'm sorry, making salads without a salad spinner sucks. What? Who? You use a who? I've never used a salad spinner in my life. Those are annoying. They're difficult, and everything gets stuck on it, and... Why? I'm sorry, it just took me out of the game for a minute. Do you even wash your salad? I rinse the leaves, sure. Also, everything here comes pre-washed anyway. Like, most things are, like, re-washed multiple times before it ever reaches you. There were rarely any actual news
Simply a
editions.
variety of existing content rotated into the front display each week.
Not fooling anyone. Hey, Jace. Oh, hey, Luca. Did Rollo come by? No. I was actually surprised. He's usually here on days when new issues drop. Rollo's the biggest Hank Atomic fan I know. Besides myself, that is. Shark says you gotta wash it again anyway. But why do you need a salad spinner? What does washing it have to do with a salad spinner? Tell him to meet me where... you know where. I don't know where. No, he knows where. Oh. Roger that, Space Cadet.
The bottom corner shelf was a dusty array of thick science books. Only one binding was clean enough to read.
You gotta dry your salad. Or else you're gonna get wet, watery salad. What? Just put the leaves against the bowl and push them, and then the water drains out the side of the bowl. I'm so confused. It is also about the dressing. Dressing doesn't stick to wet salad. Depends on the dressing, but yeah, most of the time. I'm just still not convinced about this salad spinner. They work, but they're entirely unnecessary. And they're annoying to clean. Because then the leaves get stuck in the holes and everything, and then they don't come out unless you... You can get them dry enough with a towel. You can just push them against the bowl. They do take up a lot of room. Whatever mixing bowl you're using, you push the leaves against the bowl with obviously clean hands, and then you pour the thing down and the water starts draining out of it. And then you can just, I guess, pat dry them if you're really... It's not dry enough, though. You let them stay out for a little bit. You prep them ahead of time. Or you take a paper towel if you're really desperate.
Cellular biology and the chemistry of mitosis.
Cellular biology and the chemistry... What? How is that boring?
Mycological phosphorescence.
My complete loss of interest.
The entire top level of the library was devoted to comics.
Jalek says boring. How is it how is science boring? How is the process of understanding our biological components and chemistry boring?
Most of which were Hank Atomic and the myriad of lesser revered spin-offs.
Poke around the library, nerd.
Kato volunteered at the library during the summers. He wasn't very social, so he'd dedicate each summer to becoming an expert in a single subject.
Yeah, I feel that.
Making him a reliable source of very particular knowledge. If you were to ask Kato something he didn't know, he'd escape into the dusty old bookshelves and return with just the right thing.
Hey, Kato.
Kato was lost in his reading. Luca crooked his neck to see the title. Introduction to Melitology.
Oh, hey, Luca, you snuck up on me. Good book? Oh, no, just started it.
He gestured to the shelves.
I'm really running out of books I haven't read yet. So, it's on to the wonderful world of bees. Turns out bees are pretty cool. For instance, did you know that around 70% of bee species actually live in underground tunnels? Or that there are 2 queens in a hive? They will fight to the death for supremacy. Fight! That's interesting, but have you seen Rollo around recently, have you? You haven't seen Rollo around recently, have you? Not since yesterday. Keep an eye out for him, okay? Sure thing. If you see him, you'll be the first to know. Hey you. What sort of monster puts candy behind a locked door? Oh yeah, Mr. Uncreed works weird hours sometimes. Of course he does. How about you? When do I work? No. What's your name? No, I picked up on the B pun. I emphasized it. Luca Van Horn? You new here? Yep, not by choice.
Beck's family moved often, giving her little time to establish any real connections. She would tell you she prefers it that way.
I'm looking for my friend Rollo. He didn't come home last night. So he's missing? I guess so. Like, missing? Does that sort of thing happen a lot around here?
Luca shifted his feet uncomfortably.
Well, that sucks. Yeah. So I should probably get going. Hey, wait up. What?
Beck pulled a coin from her pocket.
I'm coming with you. What? So says the unlucky penny. Unlucky? Yep, well, technically it landed on heads. Leave this kid to find his friend alone. But I always do the opposite. Oh, that's kind of like me and Rollo. I guess Rollo's my unlucky penny. That settles it. A person should never be without their unlucky penny. Let's go find him. The name's Beck. Pleasure to meet you, Beck. I suppose I could use some help. Try to keep up. Let's try going this way. See if anything new unlocked over here.
The Valentine Mansion loomed over every other building in town, both figuratively and literally. After the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate from the rest of town.
Yeah, I know. I can talk to him. I just wanted to check this spot to the right first. Joey, have you seen Rollo around? Nope, sorry, Luca. I had my eyes in the dirt looking for beetles. I can't seem to find any. He never came home last night. Do you think it's because it's been colder than normal? I don't see what that would have anything to do with Rollo. No, the beetles. Do you think the temperature confused their circadian rhythm or something? Who's to say? I'm no beetleologist. Just keep an eye out. I mean, you could be if you just go to the library and pull out the book on beetles, but apparently that's boring. Just keep eye out for him, would you? Of course. The roast. Really, that kid is really into that one band. Yeah, the Beatles, man. They need to stop being obsessed with them. Circadian rhythms and all that. Dang, they boarded up the way in.
Luca felt a chill as he approached Beck. Her eyes were locked on the strange green liquid.
What about the music? You love the creepy music? Count me shocked.
The nearby grass was coated in a fine layer of frost.
Is this sort of thing normal around here? Because puddles of glowing ooze are definitely not what I expected from this place. Grand piano is great. You love grand pianos. Okay. Good to know. I have no idea what that stuff is. Well, the next obvious step is science. And what does science suggest? Poke it with a stick.
Luca watched as Beck dipped a broken tree branch into the goo. Beck's eyes widened as flowers grew from the dead wood.
Whoa.
First small buds, which quickly bloomed into vibrant petals.
What the? Cool.
As quickly as they had grown, the flowers began to shrivel and turn gray. Beck dropped the stick with a grunt of disgust.
Okay. So science tells us this gunk is weird as hell. Yeah, it seems dangerous. Hey Tish, we'll look what the cat dragged in. Yup. I don't have time for this right now, Iggy. Aw, don't say things like that. It hurts Tish's feelings. Ain't that right, Tish? Yup. She looks fine to me. Well, hello. I don't think we've been properly introduced. Iggy's the name. This is my compatriot, Tish. Yep. You've probably heard of us. Can't say I have. I'll forgive you just this once on account of you being new around here. Why would you hang out with this dud? Oh, he seems pretty alright. Iggy, why do you have to be so... you? Has he even told you that his parents skipped out on him? Shut up. It's true, they got tired of having such a pathetic kid and left him. Iggy, I'm only gonna say this one time. Don't talk about my family. Well, look who's grown a backbone now that a girl's around. First his pops croaks, then his mom finally couldn't take it anymore and he bounced.
Iggy took a step towards Luca, his sneer lit by the glowing puddle. Beck could see tears welling in Luca's eyes, his fists clenched. Some things about Beacon Pines were very different from the city. But a bully from a hayseed town is really no different from a city bully. Beck took a deep breath and thought.
I was expecting the fight or smack that I got to be here, and not tickle. Let's bust out the strange.
Well, time to bust out the strange.
Alright, Luca. Looks like you need to take a little mud bath. What's wrong with you, new kid? We're about to pound your friend.
Beck stared in silence, the only sign of life being the twitch of an eye.
It's weird when people don't talk. Yep. Stop being a weirdo. Hello? Are you some kind of wackadoo? Makes sense, wackadoos. Travel in packs, eh,
At
dud?
the sight of Iggy taunting Beck, something in Luca snapped. Iggy's smirk shifted to a look of shock as Luca launched himself into his stomach. Iggy's clothes were drenched in the glowing ooze.
You jerk, my clothes are ruined. I'm gonna...
Iggy's voice began to slur as he struggled to get up.
I don't feel so good. Oh, I'm sorry, I just... Oh, shit. Yup. We just done killed that kid? That kid is... That was intense. Icky's gonna be okay, right? Nothing about this seems okay.
The person at the warehouse. This strange ooze and what it did to Iggy. Was Rollo caught up in all of this?
We have to find Rollo. You took the words right out of my mouth. Whoa there, little buddies. You startled me. What in the dickens are you up to in this part of town? We were just helping look for Rollo. Oh, you haven't heard the good news. Rollo showed up safe and sound a bit ago. Really? So where was he? It's really funny, really. He just got a little turned around in the woods. They can be disorienting, you know? I'm starting to get that impression. Rollo's at his house now, getting some well-deserved rest. Wow, that's a relief. You two should scurry along before you get lost yourselves. Yeah, come on, Beck. I can't wait to introduce you to Rollo. Oh, that reminds me. Luca, your grandmother was looking for you. She was? She was worried sick. You should march straight home, I guess. Beck, your folks might be getting worried too. I'll walk you home. I need to talk with Nellie about work anyway.
Beck glanced toward Luca.
I guess all is well that ends well. I'll introduce you to Rollo tomorrow. Sure. Glad he's okay.
Rollo was safe. A wave of relief washed over Luca, which was quickly replaced by a sense of dread. Gran is going to kill me. If he hurried, he might just make it home before sundown. Chapter 4. Our harvest awaits. Luca took a deep breath and gingerly opened the door, steeling himself for Gran's wrath.
Gran? I'm home. Everything's fine. Gran? Okay, I want to ask your opinion. Do you all think that it's generally better to follow one of the branches or start both branches and then kind of bounce back and forth? Follow a branch to the end? Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to end it here since we just started a new chapter. I know we're about 10 minutes early to end, but I'd rather not jump into a new chapter and have to stop midway, if that makes sense. So we'll call it here, and next week we will do more Beacon Pines, and we'll continue through chapter 4 on the Strange Pathway. Yeah, this is the only kind of game that does this. That's why I was asking Jaguar. Like, this is the new mechanic to me, so people who've engaged with it beforehand, I just want to kind of gauge their perspective. But yeah. So we'll play this more next time. Yeah, looking forward to that next Sunday. So with that said, if everybody here can just do the YouTube algorithm stuff, like, comment, subscribe, all that's in the description below. Patreon link is also down there, if and only if you're in a financial place to do so. Yeah. I'll give you all 5 minutes to chat amongst yourselves if you want to, while we listen to the warm crackle of this fireplace, and we have our little guy sit right here. And, I will see you all next Sunday, and I'll surely see you all on the Discord, which is again linked in the description down below. So you all have a good one. With that said, my name is Anarchist Terra. Thank you so much for watching.